Two Geeks, Two Beers, Greatest Hits.
Hello, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such Fox Network specials as Alien Nose Job and 5 fabulous weeks of the Chevy Chase Show. You'll see long-lost footage, never-before-seen material from your favorite episodes, old favorites you can't see in syndication.
Cheers.
All right, cheers.
Well, hello. Welcome to Two Geeks, Two Beers with me, Morgan, and Tom.
Hello.
Full disclosure, yes, we are in the pub. That's what the background noise and music is all about.
It's a nice vibe. It's a nice atmosphere.
It's a good vibe. So what we're doing here is this is our best of episode.
Now, don't have a go. It's fine. It's not being like Lazy Friends episode with the flashbacks. It's fine.
We know what you're thinking. You're thinking a highlights reel, lazy.
Yeah. Au contraire.
That's what we thought. We thought this will be easy. We'll have a nice little break over Christmas, and we'll just throw together a best of package, put it out there. Turns out it's actually a lot more work than a regular episode.
It's taken ages. Actually, as of recording, I'm still not finished.
We haven't finished.
So, you know,
we had to listen.
have a go.
We had to listen back to all 50 episodes. Poor Tom has had to cut them all together.
Yeah.
So actually, shut up.
Yeah.
But we are doing an official 50th episode, the big landmark episode. We'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end of this best of. But we just thought we'd have a nice little break, so we thought, after Christmas. And, you know, if you're a new listener to Two Geeks,
Joined us in the last few episodes.
Join us in the last few episodes. You haven't listened to all 50 because we know we've got quite a backlog now.
Yeah.
This will give you a nice little taste of everything we've done. Or if you've got a friend.
Recommend. Send this. They don't have to bother with the previous lot. I mean, it'd be great if they do then go back, obviously.
Obviously, they should then listen to all 50 and download them and subscribe and all that kind of thing. Yeah. But, you know, this will be all killer, no filler. All the funny bits, we think, none of the boring bits.
Exactly.
So it's the perfect introductory tool to bring new listeners into the show.
Yeah, well, enjoy.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at the end.
See you at the end. Cheers.
Bye.
What do you think you're playing at, Zero?
I was playing your video games.
Get out of there.
What's the matter?
I come in here and what do I find? Zero's playing my game.
But if he is killed, he can be replaced within 24 hours, but only 9 times, presumably.
Well, so he's the 9th.
He is the 9th clone.
So he's died 8 times.
But it says that he's one of 9, so maybe he's the 9th and they're going backwards.
Well, this is the thing that always bugs me about as well about Captain Scarlet, was this idea that he's they always call him Spectrum's top agent.
Yeah.
And like, if anything, he's Spectrum's worst agent because he dies every single week.
Yeah.
He's terrible. He can't complete a mission without dying, whereas like Captain Blue survives every single week. Captain Blue is amazing. Yeah, exactly. They're all great. Whereas Captain Scarlet's rubbish and dies every week. So for the sounds of Tiger Einstein is the same. He's like the top Terrahawks guy, and yet he's died at least 8 times that we know.
What happens if his head gets blown off or something?
Do you know what? It never came up. It never came up. I don't know. Because you never see him. It's not like in I don't know, like Torchwood or something, where when Captain Jack, John Barrowman, when he would die, you would actually see him like he'd come back to life.
Okay.
You never really see it. So at the end of every episode, as I recall, Captain Scarlet would just sort of die, and then and that was the end. And then it would cut to
I'm back.
Yeah, it would cut to Cloud Base at the end, and they'd all be like toasting, going, "Well done, Captain Scarlet, you've saved the day again." And he would just be back.
Just send him in, do all the hard stuff, and then he'll be fine.
Well, that's pretty much what they did. They would like, he'd be like, "Oh, I've got to defuse this bomb. If we can't defuse it, send in Captain Scarlet, because it doesn't matter if he gets blown up." And then, so he's not. Most of the time,
what's that thing? I'd be brave if I was indestructible.
Yeah, well, exactly. This is the thing. If I was Captain Blue, I'd be well pissed off because he's
doing all the work.
He's like, Captain Scarlet's the best agent. He's the bravest. Of course, he's the bravest. He can't die. And so one of the other one-off villains on Thundercats, who was my favourite all-time character, is called Safari Joe.
Okay.
And Safari Joe is basically like a bounty hunter who hunts the Thundercats.
So is he a human?
He's a human,
Well,
Safari Joe. You know, they say there's no humans. Every so often people will just turn up. These robot pirates, Safari Joe. I'm just going to play a little clip of Safari Joe because he's great. He hunts down the Thundercats and he has a catchphrase which is Safari Joe does it again. And he just says that over and over. I'm going to split a little clip from that episode.
Ha! Safari Joe does it again. Ha! Safari Joe does it again. Ha! Safari Joe does it again. Had enough? Run it again. Ha! Safari Joe does it again. Ha! Safari Joe does it again. Safari Joe never misses. You don't stand a chance.
See, just listening to that sounds very aggressively sexual. Sounds a bit kind of like, without seeing the context of it, it's like, alright, mate.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't a great clip to play just in audio.
Sounds terrifying, man.
So, Safari Joe was great, and actually on IMDb, they've got obviously the episode listings and rankings, and Safari Joe is ranked as the second best episode of Thundercats ever.
Oh, okay. So he's only in the one episode?
He's only in the one episode, he's a one-off villain.
He said that many, he said does it again about 5 times in one episode?
It's every 2 minutes if you ever watch the episode. I mean, the original Scorpion King wasn't exactly Citizen Kane, but the sequel
makes it look like it is.
Yeah, exactly. I have a quote here from one critic who describes it as cheap, ugly, deadening, lacking even the common decency to be unintentionally funny. Its sheer ineptitude increasing with each passing scene. Obviously, based off of this warm reception that it received and huge box office receipts, they made another one. So in 2012, you have Scorpion King 3, Battle for Redemption. This one isn't actually a sequel to the Scorpion King.
Okay. Well, there's always, when they do sequels and things, there's always words like redemption or resurrection.
Superman versus Batman, Dawn of Justice.
Why does it always have those kind of words in it?
They bloody love a colon. That's all I can say. So this is a sequel to the Scorpion King.
Okay, so this is a third film.
So this is
Scorpion King.
So this is a sequel to spin-off, which was a sequel to the prequel. So it's a sequel to the prequel of the spin-off of the sequel to the remake.
Okay,
this one,
all right.
Michael Copon, he had better things to do. So
even he was like, do you know what?
Copon's gone.
I'm out.
In his place, you've got, and in The Rock's place, you've got Victor Webster.
Don't know who that is.
Probably best known for his role in Mutant X. Do you remember Mutant X? Mutant X. Mutant X was like before the Marvel movies, before even the first X-Men movie in 2000. All the sort of rights were up in the air, so people would just make rip-offs, basically.
Right.
They're bulking up the star wattage. This one actually has quite a good cast, better than the second one. It has Ron Perlman, Dave Bautista, who's now in Guardians of the Galaxy and the next James Bond movie, and our old favourite, little link back to last week, Billy Zane. Billy Zane is in Scorpion King. And then, unbelievably, it's still going. So, because moving on from straight to DVD, released direct to Netflix January of this year. Scorpion King 4: Quest for Power. Because again, it's a knockout cast.
Right.
Now, for the first time, you have the same actor coming back to play Matthias. Victor Webster, he's back.
Oh, okay. So
but backing him up, you've got Michael Biehn of Terminator fame,
still kicking about.
Rutger Hauer of Blade Runner, and nothing else of note ever.
True Blood, a bit.
And with top billing, if I was Victor Webster, I'd be a little bit annoyed. With top billing, Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk.
That's what. Is he even? What character is he? I bet he's not even a main character.
Lou Ferrigno.
Rutger Hauer should get the lead in that, surely.
Well, all I'm saying is Lou Ferrigno's top billing, but when I searched his name, it features nowhere in the plot synopsis. I can't imagine he's playing a big role there.
This is the God of Gamblers series.
Which I've never heard of in my life.
It's from Hong Kong, and it's a comedy. The first one was a comedy drama film in 1989, starring Chow Yun-fat.
Okay, big star.
Yeah. And I'm guessing in Hong Kong, and maybe in the Eastern world, it's a big franchise. I guess it's quite a big deal. But I think we're fair to say that it's not that well known.
Have these films even come out
I
over
don't
here
know.
in the US and
They
the UK?
probably have on DVD or something, but
Maybe they're on Netflix, that kind of
I
thing.
mean, it's described as a comedy drama, and bear in mind, I haven't watched this.
Okay.
But I've watched clips on YouTube. You can actually watch the entire first few films on YouTube. They're all on there.
Through unofficial means. Yeah.
So you can, if you wanted to give it a go, it's on there. And it says it's a comedy drama, and I suppose there's comedy bits in it. The bits I saw were pretty. The first one, at least, is pretty
They've
dark.
got a very different idea of what comedy is.
You've got the God of Gamblers series, which is the official series. Then you've also got loads of spin-offs and parodies, which then spawn their own sequels.
How many God of Gamblers
Right, so
movies
we'll
are
do
there?
the official God of Gamblers series first.
Baffling.
So the first one is 1989.
Yeah.
Second one, God of Gamblers 2 in 91.
Alright.
That film continues where the original left off. This time... this is when it gets really complicated. It's already complicated.
Yeah.
Okay, so before this one came out, in 1990, there was a spin-off called All for the Winner.
In between 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a parody, and there's Stephen Chow who plays this Saint of Gamblers character.
Yeah.
And then the second one, it continues where the original God of Gamblers story left it off, but it brings back Stephen Chow's character from All for the Winner. Chow Yun-fat didn't appear in this film.
So there's God of Gamblers.
Yeah.
Then there's a parody.
Yeah,
and then there's a sequel to God of Gamblers, which features the character from the parody.
But
that's like if you did a new James Bond movie featuring Austin Powers.
Yeah, exactly.
Bizarre.
But Chow Yun-fat's character did show up for a brief cameo appearance using archive footage, if you want to count that.
Okay.
Then you had God of Gamblers 3, Back to Shanghai.
Right.
I think that was 92. Then you had God of Gamblers Returns in 94. Also released, this is when it gets fucking ridiculous. Also released under the name God of Gamblers 2, but not God of Gamblers 2 Roman numerals 2. So this is the true sequel to the original God of Gamblers film.
But this is God of Gamblers 4?
Yeah, so God of Gamblers Returns is the first one that Chow Yun-fat came back.
Oh, okay, so
you had God of Gamblers 2 and God of Gamblers 3, which were technically not the official sequel, but they kind of are, because they're not the parodies.
So God of Gamblers 4 is the official sequel to God of Gamblers.
Yeah.
God of Gamblers 2 and 3 don't count, but God of Gamblers 2 features the character from the parody of God of Gamblers 1.
Yeah.
Alright.
Then you've got God of Gamblers...
Just so I'm up to date.
Then in 97 you've got God of Gamblers 3, the early stage. We've already had a God of Gamblers bloody 3.
This is God of Gamblers 3 2.
Yeah, but this one was a successful prequel to the original God of Gamblers.
Oh, this is even worse than the Scorpion King.
And it's starring someone else as Chow Yun-fat's character. So again, it's not even... And it says, it may be assumed that this is a reboot to the God of Gamblers series. Just assumed, by the way, because of the inconsistencies with the previously established story of God of Gamblers.
Wait, this is God of Gamblers 3?
Yes.
So God of Gamblers...
The second, three.
So the second, third film they made is also a prequel and a reboot.
And a reboot.
And then people say Hollywood's bad.
And then they released last year From Vegas to Macau. Is that how you pronounce it, I think?
Macau, yeah.
This film once again stars Chow Yun-fat as a gifted gambler, though his character in the film's plot is unrelated to the God of Gamblers series. However, Chow, in a dual role, makes a cameo appearance as the original God of Gamblers, Ko Chun, at the end of the film.
So it's sort of like a remake, but he features as his character from the originals, but the same actor.
Yeah. So he's been two characters. And then they've got From Vegas to Macau 2 coming out this year.
Which is a sequel to the remake, but sort of a spin-off.
Yeah. We haven't finished.
Oh, what?
This is the spin-off. So remember you had All for the Winner in 1990, which was the one which...
That was the parody that later became part of the main series.
Yeah, then you had, in 91...
There are sequels to this?
Yeah, whoa. Then you got The Top Bet in 91, which was a spin-off of All for the Winner, which was the parody, with only several characters from the original reprising their role, including Stephen Chow, who made a cameo appearance. And then you had Fist of Fury 91, which is Stephen Chow's character as a cameo appearance, so again, it's in the same universe.
Another spin-off, though.
Yeah, and then Fist of Fury 91 2.
Right.
That's just a sequel to the one I just mentioned.
But because it's called Fist of Fury 91,
Yeah.
is that a remake of the old Bruce Lee movie, Fist of Fury?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So it's probably a remake of that as well?
Yeah. Then you got Fight Back to School. It's not a real spin-off to the God of Gamblers series, except the main characters are played by the same actor duo as in All for the Winner.
So that's sort of like a sister franchise.
Then you got Fight Back to School 2 and 3. And then you got Saint of Gamblers, which is a spin-off of the All for the Winner series. And then you got My Wife is a Gambling Maestro, a parody of the first film.
The very first.
The parody of All for the Winner, which was a parody of...
A parody of a parody.
Yeah. But it's got a completely different cast. And it's got a romantic comedy plotline.
Alright.
So, there we go.
If anyone listening to this has any idea what Tom just said, please do get in touch, because normally the idea is that we educate each other on geeky things.
I don't know.
I completely lost track. I think he completely lost track of the Gods of Gamblers series.
Yeah.
That was just... I'm not going to go at you here, but that was utter gibberish.
I'm just reading off.
I know you are, it's not your fault, but that was utter gibberish.
What I find funny is at the time, Kevin Bacon said that this was a career low. And that's coming from Kevin Bacon, who's now famous for doing his...
He's flogging EE, isn't he? He does EE adverts.
4G.
Yeah. Kevin Bacon. Career low.
Lowest ebb.
Dougie Pointer, Ken Barlow, The Rovers. You watch those EE adverts and his mouth is smiling but his eyes are sad, aren't they? He looks like he's crying inside, Kevin Bacon.
Hey, I'm Kevin Bacon, star of A Few Good Men, Tremors, Footloose, but I'm not here to talk about Kevin Bacon, Hollywood A-lister. I'm here to talk about Kevin Bacon, center of the universe.
I mean, I don't want to diss him because you know, he's one of those guys where I've got nothing against him. He seems like a nice guy.
So he retroactively bashed Tremors?
No, he said at the time...
He thought it was a career.
He said, I broke down and fell to the sidewalk, screaming to my pregnant wife, I can't believe I'm doing a movie about underground worms.
But to be fair, he might have done that since. He might have done that about the EE movies, EE ads. Yeah. He might have done it about The Following, which is dreadful. Yeah. You know, he might have done it about Hollow Man. We don't know. He might have a breakdown every single time he does a shitty project.
Way to go, dude! Right!
I'm guessing this is straight to DVD or
straight
whatever.
to Netflix or something.
It's called Tremors 5 Bloodlines. Michael Gross is back again as Bert. But this time it takes place in South Africa. So, there you go. And he's been brought in to battle the Graboids and the Ass Blasters with a tech-savvy newcomer played by Jamie Kennedy.
Oh my god.
Jamie Kennedy hasn't done anything for years, has he?
No, Jamie Kennedy is a man who doesn't have career lows. His whole life is one big low, Jamie Kennedy. Well, no, Jamie Kennedy...
He's in Scream and he was pretty big in that one.
And he was pretty good in Scream.
He came back...
He's in Scream 2.
Yeah, and then
he gets killed in Scream 2.
And he comes back via a video in
Scream 3.
Scream 3.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But he's great in that. But like...
Then he had, the Jamie Kennedy Experiment?
The Jamie Kennedy Experiment, something like that, which was like a terrible prank show. He was in Ghost Whisperer, opposite Jennifer Love Hewitt. Jamie Kennedy. Never quite had for him. Oh, of course he was in Son of the Mask. Which routinely wins polls as being the worst movie ever made. So even if Tremors 5 is, and I'm sure it probably is, atrocious, it still won't be the worst, the worst movie on Jamie Kennedy's TV.
But surely, wouldn't you feel sad if you're Jamie Kennedy? Because at one point you were, relatively big star, and now you're having to do Tremors 5 and be the second to Michael Gross.
Yeah, but at one point Jamie Kennedy was dating Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Was he?
Yeah. While they were on Ghost Whisperer. So don't feel too sorry for Jamie Kennedy is all I'm saying.
Where am I? You're in a room with 4 doors, 2 in front of you and 2 on your left and right hand side.
That's amazing. Again, I'm much more edging towards being one of the guys that gets to say, turn to your left, mate, there's a dungeon right in front of you. I'd much rather be him than be this guy who's literally just walking.
Wetty Martin.
I don't want to be Wetty Martin, who's just walking with a big sort of, what would you call it, Viking helmet on, but he can't see anything. He doesn't really get to experience much of anything.
Exactly.
You could replicate that in your home.
I'll show you a clip of a particular death in Nightmare, what it looks like.
Warning team, nothing here is stable. Proceed with care, but don't delay. Simon, side step to your left. That's what we call the block and tackle. You were never very good at manoeuvring, were you?
But you know when you said it helps if you know your left from your right?
Yeah.
And I was like, who doesn't know their left from their right? Clearly that guy, he just got screwed over by his mates, who, in case it didn't translate to audio, they basically just manoeuvred him down into like a massive hole in the ground.
A centimetre to his left, there was a big hole. And so they were like, side step to your left, Simon.
And he fell down the trapdoor.
Yeah.
People go on a lot about Gene Hackman in the Christopher Reeve movies, and I love those movies, but he's doing that thing where people go comic book and they hear comic and then stop listening, so they just play it for laughs and they're just camping it up. And people go on about Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman's obviously a great actor, but for me, not really the Lex off the comics where he's this awesome, ruthless, sinister guy.
This is California, the richest, most populous state in the Union.
I don't need a geography lesson from you, Luthor.
Oh yes, of course, you've been there. I do forget you. Get around, don't you?
Yeah, I think the only person who has captured that is John Shea, and also, funnily enough, even though I'm not a big fan of the show, Michael Rosenbaum in Smallville, actually pretty good.
It's the second best.
He's the second best. The second best Luthor. You got that scene, every scene in the 4th season, because at first him and Clark in Smallville, they start off as mates, and then eventually he figures out that Lex is a bit of a wrong-un. And every episode would start with something bad happens in Smallville, Lex is secretly behind it, and then it would cut to Lex staring into the fire in his mansion, always like basically stroking his non-existent beard. Tom Welling, the walking plank of wood, would storm in, and he would be like, he'd always go, Lex, I know you're behind this, and he'd be like, you're overreacting, Clark. And that would be his line every single episode. You're overreacting. I had nothing to do with this, Clark. The monster storming the city has nothing to do with me. It always was. Crime Traveller, right, is about this guy, Jeff Slade, who he's a detective, right? And
Jeff Slade?
Jeff Slade is Michael French's character. Wikipedia describes him as a good detective who gets results, although his approach is somewhat maverick.
So a good detective. He's not one of the best. He sort of gets results.
But I like the idea.
Sometimes.
It says something along the lines of 9 times out of 10 he gets results. I like that, but he's a maverick detective, but damn it, he's good.
If you don't mind, I've got some typing to do.
One of his best mates and colleagues is Holly Turner, played by Chloe Annette, who is a science officer, because every CID department has a science officer.
Yeah.
It's not a bloody Starship Enterprise.
Why is she there?
Science officer. Anyway, so she has a secret, which is that
she invented time travel.
Wow, no, that would be ridiculous. No, her father invented time travel. Yeah. So she has inherited a time machine built by her father.
A time machine?
This is completely confidential. You mustn't breathe the word to anyone.
Holly, come on. Everyone knows time travel is not possible. Oh, you believe it is?
Very specific laws of time in Crime Traveller.
Okay, I like laws of time.
Yeah, so the machine is only able to take them back far enough so that they can witness a crime as it happens and discover who committed it.
So they can't do anything about it?
They cannot change history.
But why... So the time machine somehow detects when there was a crime committed, somehow.
Yeah.
Doesn't explain how, it just does.
Yeah.
But it can only get there like 4 seconds before, so they can't stop it.
No. It's not that they don't have the time to stop it. It's that, you could get there however long beforehand. It could be an hour before the murder or whatever the crime is. But you're not allowed to change
What happens
things.
if you do?
Well, nothing. It's that time travel concept where it's getting incredibly nerdy now.
No, I
but
like it.
you know that thing where it's like, oh, you can't have changed time because it would have already happened.
Whatever happened.
They're not allowed to change history, because if they had changed history, they would have already changed history.
So what? So they witness the crime and then they just go back to the present day and...
Essentially, yeah.
Cut it.
So
how do they prove it?
I guess they catch him red-handed in the past or something, because they don't travel back to the future. Back to the future.
What, they stay there?
Well, no, because it's only like...
Oh, right, so they don't go back to the 60s?
No, they go back to like last week.
Oh,
and then
right.
they have to, or like yesterday.
I thought they were going back into like, centuries before.
No, like the medieval times and stop people from being beheaded. Yeah. No, they literally go back to like yesterday.
So that's where New Tricks missed a trick, because they could have, to solve all their old cases, they should have gone back in time.
New Tricks with a time machine. James Bolam in a time machine.
Well, Bolam teamed up with Michael French in Born and Bred.
It's all linked. So it's the Crime Traveller cinematic universe. Hilarious. Right, so and they go back like a day or whatever, catch the person, and then they have to live the time again.
Oh, right.
But they can't run into themselves because it's never specified what would happen, but apparently that would be bad.
It's a paradox.
Yeah, exactly.
The encounter could create a time paradox, the results of which could cause a chain reaction that would unravel the very fabric of the space-time continuum and destroy the entire universe.
Also, you can't travel into the future because, and this is a genuine line of dialogue from Crime Traveller, you can't travel into something that doesn't exist.
Right.
So you can't travel into the future.
Fair enough.
Either.
But so I think the reason it only lasted one series is because they spent far too long explaining the rules. So by the 4th episode,
bear in mind, we've already spent far too long explaining the rules on this episode. There's a story, Patrick Troughton's story, called The Underwater Menace, about Atlantis. And basically, the villain in it is called Professor Zaroff, played by this guy Joseph First, and he delivers the finest delivery of the line "Nothing in the world can stop me now" you can ever imagine. If you kind of imagine the film Taffin with Pierce Brosnan and his incredible delivery of the line "Maybe you shouldn't be living here," it's kind of along those lines in terms of just sheer gusto that Joseph First delivers.
Nothing in the world can stop me now!
What goes on in this town is none of your business.
As long as I'm living here, it is.
Then maybe you shouldn't be living here!
Well, that's easily fixed.
I don't know which one I prefer out of those two.
Out of Taffin and Zaroff. Where's my two favourite things? James Bond and Doctor Who. Huge. something like Robin Hood just felt ramshackle, and it was that worst kind of cliched idea of British kind of fantasy television where it's all rent-a-ghost and it's all cheap and wobbly and crap. So I've got a clip here from Robin Hood. And
if the people tuning into this are all Robin Hood fans, they've already tuned out by now.
Oh yeah, no. They'll be listening and tweet. They'll be listening and tweeting simultaneously. Furious messages.
How was the Holy Land?
Bloodthirsty.
I understand the king is winning, thanks be to God.
He's killing more people.
How is that not winning?
Show me an argument ever settled with bloodshed, and then I'll call it winning.
Do not pretend that you do not love war. I've seen you fight.
When?
I do not recall.
There's a moment in that which...
There's
a moment in that, I'm sure it was scripted, but it just seems like Richard Armitage forgot his line, where he's like, I've seen you fight in the past.
When?
I don't remember.
They run out of film and they had to keep it in.
But unlike Michael, who was on a quest to save the world or save civilization,
he's a really nice guy.
Apparently.
Misunderstood.
Great guy, Michael Myers.
Man.
2 thumbs up. Yeah. Jason was a lot less discerning about who he killed. Although it helped if you did one of these things. If you have sex out of wedlock,
right,
Jason will kill you. Smoke pot, Jason will kill you. And we're in trouble if you drink beer, Jason will kill you.
Whatever.
Pretty much.
Pushed in front of him. You know what I mean?
I like the idea that someone would be that much of a prick. They see Jason and they go, what are you going to do?
Kill me?
Yeah. Like smoking on a doobie. What are you going to do? And then he just gets like decapitated. Just in front of him.
Grumpy Jason just sitting there going, you
they like tie him up and, I'm going to get you. When I get free. He was accompanied there by a sort of lady bunny.
Yeah, we'll get on to her, Jenny.
Jenny, she was quite a sexy bunny, sort of like a Cadbury's caramel bunny.
Yeah.
Weirdly sexy female cartoon characters. You've always got that.
Yeah.
Do you remember Chippendale Rescue Rangers? My first ever crush was on Gadget from Chippendale Rescue Rangers, but weirdly, she wasn't like Jessica Rabbit, a sexy human lady in cartoon form. She wasn't even like that, a sort of slightly weirdly curvaceous rabbit. She was, I'm pretty sure, just a hamster. Just fancied a hamster.
Meet the rescue ranger who can make anything out of anything. She's Gadget.
That's how to do it.
There was a character in Tiny Toons, which is in itself weird.
Oh, what, the pink rabbit?
Well, yeah, her, but there was another one. It was it was the equivalent of who's the skunk in Looney Tunes?
No idea.
Is it Pepe Le Pew or something? Fifi Le Fume. Yeah, she was a female skunk.
Right.
Based on Pepe Le Pew.
Right, got you.
Yeah,
a sexy skunk.
Yeah, I don't know. As a 6-year-old kid, I thought she was pretty cute. But so Power Rangers did 7 Christmas specials in total.
Yeah,
but
7.
But that's in all of Power Rangers.
Oh, Power Rangers Time Force and Dragon Time and
shit. Yeah. But the one I'm going to talk about is in 1994. There was a straight-to-video called Alpha's Magical Christmas.
Okay.
And it's Alpha 5, who you just did an impression of.
Aye. Yeah.
No one's favourite character. He was like the Orko of the group. Essentially, just Alpha 5 singing carols to children around the world to cheer himself up as his friends are all busy helping Santa.
What, his robot friends?
No, the Power Rangers are helping Santa.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, apparently it was made in a sort of shitty attempt to increase Alpha 5's popularity with the fans.
Brilliant. They're like, he's not popular, so let's base the whole episode around him.
But it couldn't have backfired more, because it's the worst thing ever. I love it, because there's this whole dedicated Wikipedia page to Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And everything, they've written it in such a shitty tone. It's like, but it didn't work as intended, as most people do not enjoy the special very much, known for its poor production and nonsensical story. So I'll show you the intro.
Excellent, I cannot wait to see this.
The entire thing.
Oh, Zordon, I just can't seem to get into the Christmas spirit.
Cheer up, Alpha. It's Christmas Eve. Although it does seem strangely quiet without the Power Rangers.
But where are they, Zordon?
They have a very important mission this Christmas. They are helping Santa get all the presents ready for the children.
That is a big job. Santa can use all the help he can get. There he is, preparing the reindeer for their long trip tonight. I have it. I know how to get the Power Rangers home for Christmas.
Now, Alpha, you said it yourself. They have a big job to do.
I'll just put up decorations like everyone else around the world, then Santa and the Rangers will have to come. Now let's see. I'll need some Christmas lights and tinsel.
But Alpha, you don't have a Christmas tree.
I know, but the rest of my decorations are wonderful. See?
All right, Alpha, you win. Push the red button on the console. Behold, Alpha, my Christmas present to you.
I love the idea of the Power Rangers. The Power Rangers helping Santa and just being like, it's rapping time! Blitzer, Don! like Rudolph! Eggnog!
So the whole plot of it is, on Christmas Eve, Zordon presents Alpha with a Christmas tree, and then he just sort of teleports in children to spend time with him. Which is a bit dodgy.
Kidnapping children at Christmas
time. So here's the bit where the children arrive.
Oh, Zordon, I know the Rangers have a lot of work to do, but Christmas just isn't the same if you are all alone.
I know, Alpha. I can't promise the Rangers, but I've made arrangements for you to have some company tonight. Push the green button on the console and get ready for some Christmas magic.
I love Christmas, but that's made me hate it. That's turning me into a right Grinch.
It's awful, and it feels like a sort of weird To Catch a Predator thing where they're enticing these children in. Like,
Zordon makes some arrangements for Alpha to have some company.
So from then on, it's literally just Alpha and the kids singing. You heard a bit there, just sickly high-pitched sort of carols with his voice at the top while putting up decorations, and it just, as you say, just makes you hate carols.
Yeah, and Christmas.
Yeah, but. Don't worry, because at the end, the Power Rangers arrive.
At last.
The alarm!
We have an incoming teleportation.
Who could it be on Christmas Eve?
There is no need to be alarmed, Alpha. It's the Power Rangers.
Oh, I just knew you would come. Oh, Tommy, Kimberly, Billy, you're here. I'm so happy to see you. But where are the others?
3 are with their families, but they left a special message.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody!
And the others are still at the World Peace Project.
With as busy as you all are, it's wonderful you took the time to visit us.
That's right, and we have to get back as soon as we can.
Yeah, but we couldn't leave you guys here alone for Christmas.
Thank you, Rangers.
Holidays are the best time to share good wishes with the ones you love.
That's right, Billy. And my Christmas wish for you, Alpha, is that you'll always have a smile on your heart.
And that the magic of Christmas will stay with you the whole year through. We hope that the new year will bring happiness and harmony to you and your families.
In a safe world, where you'll be free to grow into the best person you can be.
And for all of us, may this be the year we have peace on Earth.
Oh. Dreadful. Utterly, just facepalm. All of that is just diabolical. What were they thinking? But
terrible carols, Power Ranger Stranger Danger.
That's right, Charlie.
Oh, my goodness.
But I want to just go back to the dedicated wiki again, because despite this special's gentle and tender nature, Alpha's Magical Christmas is continually and near universally panned, revulsed and ridiculed by most of the Power Rangers fan community for its excessively suckering cutesy tone, the lack of action, adventure and creativity, the constant singing, the poor production quality, the weak premise and framing story, completely ignoring the series' continuity, much less its own continuity. And then, this is even better, it's got a list of errors.
Citation needed.
1. How can Alpha eat cookies if he has no visible mouth or teeth? If Alpha has magical powers before, if he had them before, where did they come from? And if he had powers, wouldn't he have some kind of powers to help the Power Rangers during the series? Why would Zordon make arrangements for children to be teleported to the command centre when the purpose of the centre, being in a desert, is to protect it from being found by anyone? How did he make the arrangements in the first place? How does Alpha know the names of the children or know where they live? How did he know his name? Also, how are the children going to explain where they were to their parents if they saw them come back from being gone? And the amount of children in the command centre changes inconsistently. There are 12 kids teleported inside, and then there's 18 plus that leave through the teleportation portal.
So more children arrive?
Yeah, where did they come from? I mean, there was another...
I think Alpha just had 6 children stowed away somewhere. Sinister.
Yeah, just go. Yeah.
Just go with them, yeah.
There was another Christmas special, but it's called I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger. But who cares when... I'm
already exhausted.
Yeah. Previously on X-Men.
Excellent theme tune, and I think a great example of the uncelebrated art of a good previously
you
on.
Do it properly.
Previously on X-Men. Great one. As the other 2 best ones.
Walking Dead.
Previously on AMC's The Walking Dead.
Previously on AMC's The Walking Dead.
And one of the originals and the best. Previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. From Anthony Head.
Previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I was lost as well. It was because I thought it was one of the writers, Carlton Hughes. So I thought it was him, but apparently it was some other guy. It was a Previously on Lost. Sounds annoyed. Like annoyed.
It's something you remember though. A good previously.
Previously on Lost.
Apparently Clint Eastwood, he also wanted to make Nothing Lasts Forever into a movie in the early 80s, so you could have had Eastwood as John McClane.
But there's lots of different people that were up for the part.
Yeah, who do you have?
Well, I've got Dustin Hoffman.
I didn't have that one.
Yeah,
Dustin Hoffman.
apparently, yeah.
That was Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, I can't imagine it myself, but there you go. Warren Beatty, he was one. Hot stuff at the time, he was. Burt Reynolds.
Oh, Burt Reynolds, yeah, I knew Burt Reynolds, yeah.
Richard Gere.
Yeah.
At that time, he hadn't done that much, had he, really?
And
I can never imagine him as an action star,
He's been in thrillers, but never an action star.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Don Johnson
of Miami Vice fame.
And Stallone, of course.
Stallone.
And Arnie. You can't forget
Arnie. Well, we'll get on to one, because there were a few more. There was Robert De Niro.
De Niro?
He was considered for McClane. Nick Nolte.
Sexiest man alive at one point, Nick Nolte.
According to People magazine. Al Pacino. Al Pacino! Yippee-ki-yay! Motherfucker! Would have been incredible. Stallone, as you said.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, well, he would have been alright at the time.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon was good.
At his peak. Tom Berenger.
Yeah.
Michael Madsen. Charles Bronson. And Richard Dean Anderson of MacGyver.
That's all I know about MacGyver is Patty and Selma. Like, MacGyver.
Tonight on MacGyver.
Me.
Yeah.
So in 5th place, Die Hard 5. Obviously.
Right. Yeah.
4th place, 2.
2?
Yeah.
2?
Yeah. 3rd place, 4. 2nd place, 3. 1st place.
You honestly think that Die Hard 4.0 is better than Die Hard 2?
because Die Hard 2, bear in mind, even though it's in 4th place, it's still a great film. It's only 5, which is down below. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but...
Like, it's only like... they're all brilliant.
4 better than 2.
Because 4 is enjoyable. 2
is?
No, the second one, it feels like they're trying too hard to recreate the first one, and there's too many, like...
But they don't make a bad stab at it.
No, well, this is the reason we're doing the list, mate.
So my list...
Yours must be exactly the same, except for 2 and 4.
Die Hard is my number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Die Hard 2.
Yeah. You can't say 4 is worse than 5. I know you don't think it's a good Die Hard film, but it's still a better film than 5, either way round.
Those bottom 2 are interchangeable.
You can't say that 5 is better than 4. No one can say that.
The thing is, I watched 5 on a plane, Die Hard on a plane, and I didn't enjoy it, but equally it didn't offend me in the way that when I watched 4, it actually made me flinch.
But you said you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed...
I think you've been you've had some sort of bad experience in a dream or something. I think you need to watch it again. Because I
think I do.
No way 5 is better than 4.
No way 4 is better than 2.
I'd be willing to change that round.
Well, I'd be willing to change mine round. As I say, it's very interchangeable.
Alright, can we do that? If I agree to put 2 above 4, you agree to put 4 above 5.
So the official 2 Geeks...
So then we agree.
Fine. So the official 2 Geeks, 2 beers and a laptop Die Hard ranking goes 5 at the bottom.
Yeah, 4.
Then 4, then 2, then 3, then 1.
Good, happy with that.
Happy with that.
Bargained.
Good job. Drink to that. You've got this 2-part episode called The Exodus, in which the Sliders encounter a military operation who are using sliding technology for their own ends, led by Colonel Angus Rickman, played by Roger Daltrey, of course. Roger Daltrey. Why not?
I mean, yeah.
Rickman, Roger Daltrey's character, again, he's played by Roger Daltrey, is unmasked as a villain. He kills Arturo, John Rhys Davies' character. Maggie joined his second in command. Didn't know he was evil. She joins the team.
She won't get bored again.
And hey, very good. And helps the team to hunt down Rickman. And just play the scene now.
If only it was Alan Rickman playing.
Well, he's called Colonel Angus Rickman, which makes me think they probably were angling for Alan, the late great Alan Rickman, and instead got again Roger Daltrey. Anyway, this is John Rhys Davies. If I'm honest, everyone's trying their best, but completely underwhelming.
Is he phoning
final
it in now?
scene? He's not. No. The cast do their best, but it just looks awful. Yeah. It looks awful, and I'm sure it will sound awful too.
Professor, get them home.
Professor, hang in there. Hang in there.
You're coming with us.
Sliders.
That was almost comical.
Yeah.
It's not always sad, is it?
John Rhys Davies, he gets shot and he
just
he just looks like he's getting a little bit of heartburn. He sort of goes,
Howie.
So I actually was lucky enough to interview John Rhys Davies recently in person. And I asked him about his illustrious career, of course. I asked him about Indiana Jones, which he was more than happy to talk about. I asked him about Lord of the Rings, which again he was more than happy to talk about. And I asked him about sliders. And, he talked to me about it, and he was more than happy to talk to me about it. He is, I have to say, he's a lovely man, and a great actor. But he let out an audible sigh when I mentioned the word sliders. I went, so sliders, John? And he went... I actually apologised to him. I was like, I'm so sorry, but people still love sliders. It's got a big following. Would you mind just talking a little bit about sliders?
Very brave man.
And he did open up to me about his frustrations with the show.
It could have been the best show on television, and they screwed up because they didn't have the vision. The anger and the impatience in my voice probably disguises the fact that I think it was the biggest single missed opportunity of my life. I regret it deeply.
It's quite sad. He doesn't hold back, but it's I quite like. He doesn't hold any.
He was a nervous breakdown,
but he doesn't hold any malice towards it.
He loves it. He wished it was a lot better.
It's that classic thing of I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Here's an example then of just a typical morphin time.
I love these bits.
Yeah, ready?
Yeah.
Alright then, it's morphin' time! Dragon Sword! Mastodon!
Pterodactyl!
Triceratops!
Saber-tooth tiger!
Tyrannosaurus! Yeah! Check it out! Man, it's more phenomenal!
The safety of the universe is once again in your hands, Power Rangers.
But I've remembered why Jason the Red Ranger was my favourite now.
Why?
His voice.
Yeah.
His voice is good. He goes, it's morphin' time! And then he goes, Tyrannosaurus! He says it like that. That's why he's my favourite.
Tommy's trying desperately to copy him.
Yeah.
Dragon Sword!
See, my favourite. Saber-tooth tiger! Tyrannosaurus!
And
easily the best.
Mastodon! my favourite though, Billy, is because he looks like he's scared of saying it. What's his one?
He's
Triceratops! He's like really scared. He like blinks while he's doing it.
You know what? The Shaq. I know he was a great basketball player and that, but he got away with a lot of shit.
Yeah,
Shaq
shit
Fu,
rapping.
Terrible rapping. Steel, the movie Steel. Yeah. He got away with a lot of like everything he did peripherally around the basketball was dreadful. He's lucky he was a really good basketball player.
In the game storyline, Shaquille O'Neal walks into a dojo while heading to a charity basketball game in Tokyo, Japan. After speaking with Ryotsu, a martial arts master, Shaq goes to another dimension, the second world, where he must rescue a young boy named Nizu from the evil mummy Set Ra.
It wouldn't happen now. They wouldn't have Wayne Rooney goes into a different dimension.
It sort of did happen. Do you remember 50 Cent's video game?
What was it called?
It was called 50 Cent Blood on the Sand.
Yeah, but he wasn't like. I thought he was just like playing a character. I didn't think he was actually in it as 50 Cent.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
50 Cent. Blood on the Sand. This November, everything is on the line.
It revolves around rapper 50 Cent. Game is set in an urban war zone in an unnamed Middle Eastern country where 50 Cent and G-Unit have been hired to play a rap concert. After the concert promoter, Anwar, is unable to pay them $10 million in cash he promised, but relents after being threatened. However, instead of the cash they were promised, he gives them a diamond and pearl encrusted human skull, bearing a striking resemblance to a platinum cast diamond encrusted skull by artist Damien Hirst. This is promptly stolen by a paramilitary group led by terrorist Kamal. 50 Cent, with the help of a selected G-Unit partner of your choice, decides to get it back at any cost, and soon they find out there's a much bigger enemy than Kamal.
So they're like fighting terrorists?
Yeah.
Wait, where was it set?
In the Middle East.
No!
Yeah.
You find him in the club, not in the Middle East. Not in the Middle East.
So that was 2009, so it still happens, but I think that single-handedly sort of ruined his... this is a sequel.
To
50 Cent Bulletproof. What the hell? The story revolves around protagonist hip-hop musician 50 Cent's search for vengeance against the hitmen who attempted to murder him.
But that actually happened, you know that? Like, he actually got shot in real life.
The game features members of the G-Unit rap crew as a gang. Dr. Dre plays an arms dealer,
What?
Eminem plays a corrupt police officer, and DJ Who Kid plays himself as a person selling bootleg music.
Of course, DJ Who Kid.
What is that?
Oh, did Shaq Fu teach us nothing?
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to Shaq Fu too.
Next up, Diamonds Are Forever, the good version.
So, this is the thing, because I, only a couple of years ago did I finally watch all the Bonds properly, from start to finish, and I stupidly assumed that all the old Bonds were classic and brilliant.
No, you're wrong.
But I was very wrong.
You're very wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to admit, most Bond films in general are a bit ropey.
Most Bond films are a bit ropey.
Yeah, they are.
Why are we doing this episode?
All the Roger Moore films, apart from Never Let Die and This Boy Love Me, are a bit ropey.
That's a stronger argument.
Sean Connery did maybe half of his films were alright.
Dr. No's good.
Do you know what the best film ever?
What, just in general? Or are you just going off topic?
Lazenby.
Well, On Our Majesty's Secret Service is excellent. Better when drunk. We should watch it. We should watch it when we're done recording this episode. Because I watched On Our Majesty's Secret Service many times.
Yeah.
And it's an excellent movie, no question. I watched it drunk once, and it was
incredible.
It was the most moving experience. There's a scene where Diana Rigg's been kidnapped by Telly Savalas, and he's trying to convince Bond is trying to convince M. Right. To send in the troops to rescue her, and he's like, "So, we've got to send in the troops," and he's like, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so intense, amazing, so good."
I'm desperate for Pierce Brosnan to have a comeback. I'm desperate.
Yeah.
What was it I said that time?
He still looks good.
It was a.
There was an advert.
That was it.
There was an advert for men's aftershave, and it was the sort of sponsor, the guy they got as the face of this aftershave was Jerry Butler, Gerard Butler, and he was saying nothing against Gerard Butler in particular, but he was like, "Yeah, you want to smell like me, Jerry Butler," and Tom exclaimed, "What did you say, Tom?"
I don't want to smell like Gerard Butler. I want to smell like Pierce Brosnan in his prime.
I want to smell like Pierce Brosnan in his prime.
Think about it though.
You just got them. Does look like he smells nice.
He does.
He looks
with Bond.
Yeah, he looks well coiffed.
Yeah.
I'd like to smell Pierce Brosnan and smell like Pierce Brosnan. So I ever told you the story about the guy on the tube who loved Arnold Vosloo?
Did we mention this before?
I don't think we did. Maybe we mentioned it in our Freaky Franchise episode with the Mummy and
it's worth bringing up again.
The Mummy and the Scorpion King, where I can't remember why it came up, but I was on the tube with a work colleague, and we were talking about the actor Arnold Vosloo, who plays Habib Marwan, who's the main villain in Day 4. And this guy just goes, and bless the guy, he was lovely, but I think he might have been a bit off.
Right. Okay.
And he came up to us and he was like, he's talking about Arnold Vosloo. And we were like, yeah. And he's like, favourite actor of all time. This guy's favourite actor of all time. No, I mean, he's fine, but his favourite actor of all time was Arnold Vosloo. And
even Arnold would be like,
yeah, he'd be like, mate, really?
But one, I like the idea that this guy's really shy, but never in his life has anyone talked about.
He was so excited.
He had to talk about it.
He couldn't hold it in.
But also, we have a running gag, Morgan and I, about no one's favourite actor. And we list someone. He's the ultimate no one's favourite actor, but no, proved wrong. Yeah. He's someone's favourite actor.
This guy, he was fully into it. He loved him in 24, he loved him in The Mummy, he loved him in the Darkman sequels where he replaced Liam Neeson. This guy was like the ultimate Vosloo nut. He was a Voz lunatic. It just came up with that. Voz lunatic. The one and only. But forget your Stephen Fry's. Forget your Tate Donovans. There was one man. Forget Kiefer Sutherland. I guess he's basically a
Parliament member.
A glorified extra. Yeah, he's got one line. And it is not only the finest line in 24 Live Another Day, possibly the greatest line in 24 TV history, where... So there's been a terrorist attack, this time on British soil. Yeah. President Heller, he's about to address the British press or the British Parliament and sort of give a speech, and the British blame him for the terrorist attack. And he starts to speak, and he's rudely interrupted by this guy, John Cummings.
President Heller would like to offer some words. President of the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen. What are you going to do about today's incident?
What are you going to do about today's incident? And it's everything about the delivery of the line. What?
It's the what?
It's the sheer visceral venom of what are you going to do? And then when he says
it's so annoying.
When he says incident, he kind of like
sort of cries a bit.
He sort of cries a little bit, and his chin wobbles, and he's like, and he sort of looks a bit like really grievously offended. What are you going to do about today's incident?
And, I should point out that my sister actually knows John from way back by complete coincidence.
By complete fluke.
We worship this guy.
We were weirdly obsessed with this guy John Cummings. Who, John, I hope one day you can listen to this. We mean this all with love.
We've got a mug with your face on it and the quote on the back. What are you going to do about today's incident?
We had a mug made of your face. You probably think we're really weird now. Everyone probably thinks we're really weird now. We were weirdly obsessed with this guy on that line.
Ladies and gentlemen. What are you going to do about today's incident? Ladies and gentlemen. What are you going to do about today's incident?
I wish there were words.
What are you going to do about today's incident?
I wish.
What are you going to do about today's incident?
I wish there
What
were
are you
words.
going to do about today's incident?
There was rumours that there was going to be a third Jack Frost film coming out this year.
Yeah. Jack Frost in space.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure if it was like a brand new remake or if it was the same guys that made the first two.
Right.
And I found these like weird fan sites where it's like a fan wiki where you upload fake films. Like it's like fan fiction.
Right, that's fun.
But it was like Jack Frost. I'll see if I can find it. And it had weird sort of fake castings. Yeah, Jack Frost 3, The Last Coming.
That's not even a pun, is it?
No, don't
really.
think so.
Second Coming, maybe.
It's like this is all because at first I didn't see the fandom.
Right, so you thought this was.
I thought, it's actual. It's an actual thing.
Yeah.
2016 horror comedy thriller film.
Are we 100% convinced this is not genuine?
No, it's not.
Okay. Okay.
And right, I'm going to read it word for word. Because whoever did this can't fucking write properly. So. It's a 2016 horror comedy thriller film and was held back for long due to Christopher Allport, who is the guy who played the sheriff, I think. Right. Due to actor Christopher Allport's apostrophe FES, is now starring in Jack Frost 3. Doesn't make any sense. As a result, the film was seemingly cancelled but has now come back after being convinced by studios. Alright, so what
I like about this is not only have they come up with a fake film, they've come up with fake behind-the-scenes backstory.
Unless this is Allport himself.
Fake behind-the-scenes dealings.
I can't be asked to read it all, but look how long this script... Look,
wow.
They've done a whole plot summary.
In fairness, if you're going to put that much thought into the fake behind-the-scenes controversy, you're going to put quite a bit of thought into the actual plot of your fake film.
The last paragraph. However, after the credits, we zoom in on a dead body of Jack Frost and his eyes blown off from the explosion open up again and wink at the crowd. Sam, who's the sheriff, died by Jack with boom brain, but Eliza is the best actress, but Jack's alive again, and here we go again. Fuck me. What is this guy just absolutely stoned? Went, yeah, fuck it. It's not only that, he's done it's fake deaths in a fake film by Jack Frost. He's written a load of military soldier guard killed by a throat slit with carrot. And he's done all these, and then
this is by far the most fascinating thing about this franchise.
And then he's done a fake cast list. So he's got Scott McDonald back as Jack Frost, but then he's got random people I've never heard of, and then people like Emily Browning and Mark Wahlberg and Emma Roberts and Jared Padalecki. Jared Padalecki as hotel manager. What is this?
The highlight of his career.
What is this?
Oh, it's spectacular.
So there you go. That's Jack Frost. Yeah. I want to watch the Michael Keaton film now. Make me feel better.
Yeah, make me feel better. Jeez, Louise.
Yeah, so the island, the monster, Jacob, Man in Black, these are the things that Lost is actually, technically, all about. Yeah, you never really got an explanation about any of it.
No.
You only find out about it like at the last minute.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
And you go, sorry, what? I'm sure none of that made sense, but I do have a lot of honourable mentions, which I won't delve into. I'm just going to list a load of questions.
Okay.
What were the rules that were spoken by Ben, Widmore, Man in Black and Jacob? Remember the rules?
No.
you just hear Ben go, he broke the rules. What were they? Why bring it up if you're not going to explain what they are?
Bro code.
Maybe. Where did the glass eye come from? Of the glass eye?
What's the glass eye?
In like the hatch, or one of the many hatches they found, they made a point of focusing on this glass eye they found. Like,
right.
Who's that? What does that mean? What's that going to do? No.
Who's that?
and do you remember there was a guy called Mikhail, who was this Russian dude?
Mikhail, who
had an eye patch.
And he kept coming back from the dead, and that was never explained either.
We presumed that the eye maybe belonged to him. Never said so, though.
Right.
Just say it was.
Yeah.
Just how hard was it to go, oh yeah, I heard you found my glass eye. Done, sorted. That's what it was to do.
Yeah.
Who built the statue?
Yeah.
Egyptians, probably. But, you know... Why did Radzinski make the blast door map and shoot himself? So, in the hatch, there was a blast door map. When certain lights were turned on, you could see a big map of the island and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. It was awesome and cool at the time. Like, oh my god, it said Cerebrus on it. Maybe that meant that's what the smoke monster was.
Who did that?
We knew that was Radzinski that did it. Why did he do it? How did he know all this? Right. Why did he kill himself? Never explained. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Why did Penny know... Why did...
you were too shitty that you made yourself laugh.
Why did Penny know so much about the island?
Money,
apparently.
I love you, Penny.
With enough
I've always loved you.
With enough money and determination, anyone can do anything. That's not a good answer. Why did she know so much about the island?
That's why Donald Trump became president. That doesn't explain why she knows so much about the island.
Why can the Man in Black only appear as those who have died? Why? Who made the secret door that supposedly summons the Man in Black? Right.
It was a secret door that summoned the Man in Black.
So right. Bear in mind that later on it's revealed that Ben knows fuck all about anything. He doesn't know. And that's why he kills Jacob, because he's like, I've followed your teachings and yet I've finally met you and I realise I don't know anything. I don't know about the Man in Black. I don't know about the Smoke Monster. I know nothing. Yet...
Ben is very much like an angry Lost fan.
Yeah. But before that, under his house, which was built on temple shit... He knew of this thing where if he released something, it would summon the smoke monster. A, how did it summon the smoke monster when we find out later it's just the Man in Black fucking about?
Yeah.
And B, how did Ben know about that when he wasn't told about it by anyone? No. Did they introduce that and go, let's just pretend that no one remembers that bit? Let's just hope that everyone just glosses over it.
I think they didn't remember.
I think they just forgot they did it.
I think they just forgot.
Because it makes no sense.
That explains a lot. Kate.
Your great Matthew Fox impression.
Kate.
What's the other one?
I can't do Matthew Fox. The only word I can say is Kate.
No, but there's the other bit where
and so what? I can't remember the context when he goes.
What happened to your wife in the end? No. What happened to that girl you're talking about?
I married her.
Is she okay? The girl. It doesn't matter. What happened to her? It doesn't matter. How can you say it doesn't?
I married her.
I married her. Which is very similar to.
So there's that great bit in Lost where Matthew Fox screams, "I married her," which is on YouTube, I think, as a classic example of Matthew Fox's great acting. Yeah. And so there's always an associated video, which is from sort of a Lost wannabe, Flash Forward, which is, I think, literally called, in that case, Joseph finds his terrible acting in Flash Forward. And so there's a scene in Flash Forward where Penny from Lost has one of them had a flash forward that she was having sex with Jack Davenport, British gent Jack Davenport in the future. Yeah. So Joseph Fiennes comes home, and for some reason Jack Davenport is in his house. And he's furious. He's like, the man you're going to be sleeping with in 6 months' time was in our house, and I didn't invite him in. You did.
Don't you turn this around and make it about me. The man you might be sleeping with in 6 months' time was just in our living room, and I sure as hell didn't bring him into our lives. You did!
Come on, Mark!
What's the other one?
He goes, be honest with me!
The
other bit is when I think it's the most famous moment in all Flash Forward history.
If you can remember anything about Flash Forward, it's this.
Is when Joseph finds his character is an alcoholic. And in his flash forward, he can't remember anything. And his boss is like, "Why is your flash forward so blurry? Why can't you remember anything?" Yeah. To which Joseph Fiennes says, "Because I was loaded, okay?
Because I was loaded, okay?"
And then there's this sort of lingering bit where both of them sort of look at each other, shocked and horror, going, like it was meant to be this powerful Emmy-winning scene.
Yeah.
this was the thing that originally led me to discover the Mandela effect. So when I was a kid, there was a cartoon, and I think it was actually from like the 60s, but it was repeated in the 90s, and it was a spin-off of Wacky Races, starring Dick Dastardly and Muttley.
Yeah.
It was called Dastardly and Muttley in Their Flying Machines.
Which no one ever remembers it being called that.
No one remembers it being called that. We'll get onto that.
Yeah.
So in this series, Dick Dastardly and Muttley, who are the villains from Wacky Races, they're now flying aces and members of the Vulture Squadron, a crew of aviators on a mission to... I'm reading this, you may be able to tell. a crew of aviators on a mission to stop a homing pigeon named Yankee Doodle Pigeon from delivering messages to the other side.
Yeah.
And it was a great fun series. They're always trying to get him, the pigeon, and they can't get him. Now,
good theme tune, isn't it?
It has got an excellent theme tune. And the theme song, I was convinced...
Well, sing it to yourself, so...
Again, so, if you know the show I'm talking about...
You must know.
Just sing the thing. So what I thought it was, and I was convinced it was, and I sang it as a kid, it went... Catch the pigeon, catch the pigeon, catch the pigeon, catch the pigeon, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Catch the pigeon. In fact, I thought the show was called Catch the Pigeon.
Catch the Pigeon.
But, whatever, it's not. But, okay, fine, it was called something else. But the theme tune definitely said Catch the Pigeon.
I mean, what else can it be?
Catch that pigeon now. Now, alright, I want you to just listen to this utter nonsense. Makes me furious.
Muttley, you snickering, floppy-eared hound. When courage is needed, you're never around. Those medals you wear on your moth-eaten chest should be there for bungling, at which you are best. So stop the pigeon, 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 stop the pigeon. Ow! Nab him, jab him, tab him, grab him. Stop that pigeon now!
Stop the pigeon, nab him, jab him, grab him, everything but catch him. I was convinced.
Because catch makes more sense for what they're actually trying to set out to do. Plus, Google knows, you search catch the pigeon, and it shows Dastardly and Muttley, their flying machines.
Alright, so when I saw that it was stop the pigeon, it blew my mind, but again I was like, weird, I was convinced, but I guess I just misremembered. But no, as you say, if you look up that theme song on the YouTube comments, there's loads of other people saying, weird, I thought it was Catch the Pigeon. Why do we all remember it wrong? Right, so going back to the beginning of this episode, and I was talking about my Twitter conversation with Benji, and we were talking about the Mandela effect on Twitter, and I brought this up with him, to which he replied, it was Catch the Pigeon.
Annoyed.
I just saw this tweet, and then the video, and I gasped, because I was wrong too. Unbelievable.
Furious.
What you sort of missed there while the clip played was Tom getting almost a little bit aroused by the nostalgia rush from watching the opening of Labyrinth. Just sort of a bit like,
it's just
that's so good.
There's something about it because it's one of the first films or anything that I was aware of as a sentient being. As I was a kid, just watching this, going, it just distilled. I know it's one of those things where when you know something as a kid and it bites into your history and you just it creates certain emotions, and you know that if you try and give it to someone else who's not really seen it before, they won't get it,
and they won't have the same relationship with it that you had. Yeah.
But for me personally, this is one of my all-time favourites.
Well, love.
So there you go. There's two fantasy epics for you.
I feel suitably spun out after that.
Yeah. They're of its era.
Yeah.
Both very entertaining. Highly recommended.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, if you listen to this, both of those films bit into your history as violently as they bit into Tom's.
That made sense to me whilst I was saying it.
I like it. I don't think it's a phrase that's ever been up before, but I think we should make it a thing. It's where someone's like, it really moved me. It
bit into my history.
It really just bit. It really. People say it really got under my skin. But that doesn't really make any sense. So let's say it bit into your history. I like it. But there was also just talking about all the different iterations of the Hulk. In the 60s, there was the very first Hulk cartoon. Now back then, all the Marvel cartoons had these musical intros. So most famously, Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Da-da-da, da-da-da,
Spider-Can. Captain America, he had a cartoon in the 60s, also had a great one. When Captain America throws his mighty shield,
right.
All those who chose to oppose his shield must yield.
Yeah.
The Hulk's theme is less good.
Yeah.
It's less good.
Dark Bruce Banner, belted by gamma rays, turned into the Hulk.
AT and glamour rays,
Wrecking the town with the power of a bull.
ain't no monster clown who is as lovable
As ever-loving Hulk. Hulk.
That is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
I wish you could have seen the disgust on Tom's
Oh my
face.
god. Hulk. Hulk. Oh my god, that is so bad. It's like something out of Hulk. Something out of the Crankies in the 80s.
Who is as lovable as ever-loving Hulk? There are many words one could use to describe the Hulk. Incredible being one, not so much lovable. Also, I don't know if you noticed, because it's quite poor quality, that theme includes the lyric, Doc Bruce Banner, belted by gamma rays, turns into the Hulk, 80 unglamour rays. which may be the worst rhyme ever committed to song. It is a rhyme crime.
Hulk.
There's
no effort either. At the end, she just goes, Hulk. Like,
Hulk. Explosive.
It's going to do the same for you.
Oh no. There's beer everywhere.
Cheers.
Disaster. Cheers.
I did have these beers in my bag for a few hours. That's probably what happened.
What were you thinking, mate?
You can't see, but maybe we should take a photo of this, because this is ridiculous. Anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
So, my laptop is covered in beer, by the way.
I mean, 2 geeks, 2 beers, and sometimes a laptop. It was always going to happen. It was at one point one of our laptops was always going to get covered in beer. What are you doing?
Actually, can I eat it? It's like everywhere. Look at the screen.
Tom's laptop screen, listener, is covered in beer.
There we go.
He's wiping it down.
If you thought we were professional, that's all gone out the window.
What is your favourite Flash R? Because there are some good ones. So you got Saviour of the Universe.
Yeah.
He'll save every one of us. I know what my favourite is.
Hang on. I've got to look up the lyrics. There's one in particular.
I think it might be the same as mine.
King of the Impossible.
Of course it is. The best one is
King of the Impossible.
Flash King of the Impossible.
King of the Impossible.
What I like about that is it's not just that he can do the impossible, which is pretty bloody impressive.
He's the best of it.
He's king of the impossible. He's the best at doing the impossible.
There's lots of people out there who can do the impossible, but of that, he is the best.
I don't know why that is the best one. Save the universe. Yeah, sure. You'll save one of us. Sure. He's king of the impossible, mate. King of the impossible. Also, so I was looking up the lyrics to this song, and there's the bit, he's for every one of us, stands for every one of us. Apparently the lyrics are, he saves with a mighty hand every man, every woman, every child with a mighty flash. Now, I never knew those...
Mighty flash.
Well, exactly. I never knew those were what the lyrics were, because I just get too excited at that point.
Yeah.
So it's like...
never, mighty flash.
Exactly. No, I didn't even it's like, every man, every woman, every child with a flash.
But you know what I like about it is that they included quotes from the film. So like Dr. Hans Zarkov is and then Flash, I love you, but we only have 14 hours to save the Earth.
What do you mean? Flash Gordon approaching.
Open fire.
All weapons.
So good.
My number one favourite Scrooge. Now, I want to preface this by saying everyone has their own little Christmas traditions.
Yeah.
Everyone has a broadly similar Christmas, don't we? But everyone has their own little quirks that would seem weird to outsiders.
Yeah, I watch the Flint Street Nativity every year.
Underrated. It is good. Neil Morrissey's in it.
Mark Addy.
Really strong.
Really good.
Really strong.
Yeah.
My ex-girlfriend, this is true, TV was banned. That's the best bit of Christmas Day.
What do you mean?
Watching telly. They weren't allowed to watch telly.
What, on Christmas Day or the whole of Christmas?
No, well, Christmas Day.
It's like Footloose.
Instead, they had to hold hands and dance around the tree singing songs.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's like the bit in Peep Show where she comes down with that birthday hat on. Happy birthday, happy birthday. So, were you there when it happened?
Oh God, no.
Oh, thank God for that.
My point is, everyone has their own little Christmas
Yeah, okay,
tradition.
fair enough.
And my favourite Scrooge is tied to my own little Christmas tradition. For me, my own personal number one has got to be, and it is embarrassing, but it's got to be Ross Kemp.
Yeah.
It's got to be Ross Kemp. Every Christmas, I watch ITV's version of A Christmas Carol starring Ross Kemp. And I think you maybe share this with me a little bit, but I was sort of obsessed with Ross Kemp as a kid.
Yeah.
These days, of course, he's best known for his hard-hitting documentaries.
How do you explain who Ross Kemp is to like people who aren't from Britain?
The British Michael Chiklis.
So he was an actor in EastEnders, the biggest soap in the UK.
Well, exactly. This is why I was obsessed with Ross Kemp as a kid, because back then, when I was a kid, he was Grant Mitchell on EastEnders, who, when you were a kid, the ultimate cool, tough guy, hard man. You loved it. So Ross left EastEnders, and he left the BBC, and he was in what is called a golden handcuffs deal.
Yeah.
Nothing sexual. he had a golden handcuffs deal with ITV, which meant he could only make programmes for ITV, including, of course, Ultimate Force.
British Army! British Army!
It was a military drama so absurd, it made the A-Team look like Platoon.
Louis right. Feeling that philosophical about it, you shouldn't be here.
Steady.
And what's he saying? Easy come, easy go. That is not what I'm saying.
Bollocks! Honestly, you can't really understand how great Ross Kemp is to watch unless the audio won't cut it. You need to just watch anything he's in. We love him. We've both met him at times, haven't we?
Love Ross.
And there's a time where I was interviewing him about his latest documentary series, and he was trying to explain like a tense moment where he was like up against this tough guy, and he stood up and he made me stand up, and he like
he
got
made
my
you
hand,
stand up,
and he like came like right in front of my face, like as close as you could. I was like, "We're gonna kiss? What was happening now?" But going on.
So during this period when Ross Kemp was making lots of programmes for ITV, something else he made, in fact, his first post EastEnders role.
Was it?
What? Yeah, it was. A Christmas Carol. First broadcast on December the 20th, 2000.
Wow.
It's a contemporary take on the Dickens classic in which the TV hard man plays Eddie Scrooge. They thought about that. Long and hard. He's a low-level gangster and loan shark. I watch it every Christmas. Thing is, I watch it every Christmas. It's not as if I dig out my old VHS. It's on TV every year. Every single year.
Every year.
It's the thing. It's not prime time.
It's buried. You need to really delve into Radio Times. It's like midnight on December 22nd. You can find it in there somewhere.
It's a hidden gem. Is what it is. It's normally on about December 23rd, midday. As you say,
good to wrap your presents up with.
Perfect. It's not proper ITV. It's ITV3. ITV3 December 23rd. You'll find it. But it's on every single year. This is the thing. It's on every single year. So me and at least like 30 other people must watch it every year. now granted, I'm probably the only one who returns to it. Everyone else is probably a new viewer. I'm the only returning viewer every year. But for me,
underrated.
That's it. It's Ross Kemp's Christmas Carol. I love it. You were suggesting people we should talk about in this episode. We should recall who've passed this year, and one was Andy Cunningham. And I had to, and I was like, who's Andy Cunningham?
This saddened me more than most. This one.
And I googled Andy Cunningham, and of course, he's Bodger from Bodger and Badger, the classic kids show Bodger and Badger.
If I had a screensaver of my mind, where I'm not really thinking about anything in particular, it's the Bodger and Badger theme tune. Bodger and Badger.
Everybody knows Badger loves mashed potato. That's where your brain goes. It's like that scene in
Bodger and Badger, Bodger and Badger, na 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 na.
Bodger and Badger are never far away.
And it just continues and
It's
continues.
like that episode, that scene in Spaced where Daisy, Jessica Stevenson's character, has just the magic roundabout going through, and I'm like, and yours is Bodger and Badger. I'll give you a quick summary if you don't know what Bodger and Badger is.
Yeah, if you're from America or something, you have no idea what Bodger and Badger is.
Because every episode was the same. The programme focused on the exploits of a handyman, Simon Bodger, apparently his name was Simon Bodger, played by Andy Cunningham, and his pet badger. So, I must say, I've got this description from the Wikipedia page for Bodger and Badger, and this page is a marvel. It's incredible. It's incredible. Simon Bodger and his pet badger, who has a penchant, open brackets, some might say an obsession, close brackets, for mashed potato, open brackets, although this always seems to be instant mashed potato, not proper mashed potatoes, close brackets.
Get the right mashed potato.
Very, very fussy. Again, this is from the Wikipedia page. The series focused on Bodger's attempts to hide Badger from figures of authority. Then this
is for committing his imagination.
No, it says
his own hand.
It says this was presumably for health and safety reasons. A badger would constitute a hygiene and safety risk.
I think they've looked into this party, man.
They've gone into this. So what would happen in every episode of Bodger and Badger was Bodger would like go to work doing his handyman business, but then Badger would show up, and Badger loved mashed potato, as the theme tune told you, and he would always just get mashed potato everywhere. He'd have a wooden spoon in his mouth and go, mashed potato!
Why didn't Bodger just not have mashed potato in the house?
I think Badger must just find it from somewhere.
He just goes to like his house goes.
Goes to his co-op and gets some instant, not proper mashed potatoes, instant mashed potatoes.
But then they ruined it with Mousy, didn't they?
Yeah. So later on, they brought in this character Mousy, who was sort of a scrappy-do, little cousin Scampy type character. Got in the way of the bromance. Literally on this Wikipedia page, it says Bodger was sort of phased out of the show.
Bodger was phased out
to focus more on the relationship between Badger and Mousy.
No one wants it.
We want the Bodger and Badger romance. Clues, romance. June 9th. Now, I find this fascinating. June 9th saw the release of The Mummy, a reboot of the classic horror starring Tom Cruise. Now, this was intended to...
So presumptuous. This whole thing.
It's... They've invented a whole new word for it, presumptuous.
They know what I mean.
Hugely presumptuous. They stop being presumptuous, please. Do you know what that is? You know how they have like Oxford Dictionary Word of the Year? The word of 2017. Two Geeks Word of 2017. Presumptuous. Are you Googling it now to make sure it's not a real word?
It is a word.
Presumptuous.
It is a word.
Presumptuous.
Yeah.
Not presumptuous.
It's the same thing.
Presumptuous.
Presumptuous. No one says presumptuous. It's
I do. Everyone does apart from you.
Too hard.
Presumptuous is the drunk man's presumptuous.
Fair enough.
Having failed to lure the creature into his first trap, come on, kill me, do it now! Dutch is able to crush the creature under another trap's counterweight. Dying, the predator activates a self-destruct device. Dutch takes cover just before the self-destruct device explodes in a mushroom cloud, somehow surviving what appears to be a nuclear explosion.
Don't worry about it. It's the 24 rule, isn't it?
What?
The Jack Bauer rule.
Drive around the nuke.
Can't go this way. The nuke. The nuke's here.
You need to go back and listen to our 24 episode where we discuss this in more detail. But basically, in season 6, a nuke goes off, and they detonated a nuke in one of the early episodes, and then the writers clearly regret it because they don't really want to deal with the ramifications of a nuke having gone off in LA. So
nuclear holocaust for like 10 seasons.
There's literally a scene where someone wants to drive down a road, and a policeman says, "Can't go this way, nuke." No, you want to go
around the nuke.
Take the road on 5th.
The second left.
You want to take a ride on 5th? You go right around that nuke, right around that fallout zone. Jesse Ventura played Blaine Cooper. Now Ventura was a real life Navy SEAL and professional wrestler. This is almost on Buster Crab levels of multitasking.
This stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus, just like me.
He was a professional wrestler known as Jesse the Body Ventura.
Do you know what he does now?
He hosts... Go on.
As of September 2017, Jesse is hosting a variety news show called The World According to Jesse.
No, I'm thinking of... I was flicking through the channels, late at night, as you do, and I found this show, this incredible show, called Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura, which is hosted by... It's basically like him and a team, and they investigate, conspiracy theories, but in a sort of Jesse Ventura way. So I saw one that was about super soldiers, and this guy who's clearly crazy is like... I believe that I was recruited by the American government to be a super soldier, and they did experiments on me. And there's like no proof, but just he's like,
do you know what? I believe this.
He's like, this man's testimony was such that I believe America has a super soldier program. I have no proof of such, but oh my god, the testimony.
Is it every episode? Like the end of Ross Kemp, he always does a bit to camera.
Yeah.
Saying, well, everything here is really bad, and it's going to continue to be bad. And I feel like at the end of each episode of Conspiracy Theory, Jesse Ventura turns to the camera and goes, believe all that.
I believe it all.
See you next time.
I have no proof for such. It was hosted by Jesse Ventura. One of his team was June Sarpong. And it was these weird scenes of him teaming up with June Sarpong and Oliver Stone's son, Sean Stone, who looks like, in 90s team shows where there's always like the cool one who's like a bit of a ladies' man,
like a Diagnosis Murder.
yeah.
His son, he's Barry Van Dyke.
He's the Barry Van Dyke of conspiracy theory Jesse Ventura, and Sean Stone just sounds like a name that you would give that kind of character. God. Sean Stone, he's the ladies' man.
June Sarpong, so she was like a presenter over here on T4 this Saturday morning, like breakfast show sort of for kids. Yeah. And now she's doing that. I'm sure she's doing something else.
I'm sure she's moved on since. But he was like, a British journalist, June Sarpong, is teaming up with me, Jesse Ventura, to solve mysteries. And I was like, am I high? Someone slipped something in my drink.
It's like one of those fake programs you see on Rick and Morty where they show the
Yeah.
Now, you guys are telling me that humans turn into lizards?
Jesse Ventura takes on a conspiracy from another dimension.
I come from the world of pro wrestling. I've seen it all, and I've never seen any 6 foot tall, walking on 2 legs lizard.
Back to the Future.
Gotta get back in time.
Part 2.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably the weakest of the 3 movies in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
But still highly enjoyable.
My favourite scene is when, because so obviously in the first film Marty's skating all over the place. He's a cool skater dude, and the second one he gets his hoverboard, and there's a scene where he tries to hoverboard over what is it, like a lake, like a pool?
Yeah.
And what is it?
He goes, so it's Griff's cronies from the future, and Marty is on the hoverboard and he's stuck on the water, but he can't move, and so he goes, "Fly, you bozo!" Those boys don't work on water unless you've got power.
That's Tom hamming it up to the extreme. Let's hear the real version.
Hey, McFly, you bojo! Those boats don't work on water unless you've got power!
Sorry, I don't think I hammed it up at all.
Those boats don't work on water unless you've got power!
Don't think I hammed it up at all. If anything, I was understating it. Hoverboards look so cool. I remember, like, I always wanted one. I made one out of cardboard.
Right.
So all it was just a bit of cardboard, and I drew a thing, and I don't know what I sort of jumped and stood on it, and didn't go anywhere.
You were a cool kid. Bruceploitation, which is a real thing, refers to the practice by filmmakers, mostly in sort of mainland China, Hong Kong and Taiwan, of hiring Bruce Lee lookalike actors, or Lee-alikes, to star in imitation martial arts films in order to cash in on Lee's success after his death. Apparently when Enter the Dragon was such a huge hit, Hong Kong studios feared that a movie without Hong Kong's most famous star wouldn't be financially successful. So they decided to play on Lee's international fame by making movies that vaguely sounded like the sort of movie Bruce Lee might have done, with actors who looked a little bit like him, changing their screen names. So these guys had like full careers as sort of these Lee-alikes. So they had names similar to Bruce Lee, such as
like Loose Lee.
No, but not far off. So like Bruce Lai, L-I, Bruce Lay, just L-E, Bruce, I guess this is Lai, L-A-I, Bruce Lay, L-E-I, Bruce Lai, L-I-E, and Dragon Lee.
So this is like, you know when you see those shitty rip-off movies, and it's like Transmorphers, or whatever it's called. They look like the poster.
And so the DVD always looks the same. They're always hoping someone will accidentally.
So if you go to Blockbuster back in the day,
HMV back in the day,
you would look at it and go, "Oh, that's probably
Transformers.
That's probably Transformers. I'm just going to pick that up and then go and go, oh, what's Transmorphers?
I always think with those sort of films, the only way they can ever make any sales is just sort of hungover people accidentally picking them up. That's the only way you're...
If they're on Netflix now, I guess you accidentally put it on and you go, and then 30 seconds in, stop. Like,
what have you achieved?
I mean, it counts as a view, I suppose.
Well done. So some of these films were advertised as genuine Bruce Lee movies, when in fact they were not. And some of the movies, such as Re-Enter the Dragon, Enter 3 Dragons, Return of Bruce, Enter Another Dragon, Return of the Fists of Fury, or Enter the Game of Death, all genuine titles. They were sort of rehashes of Bruce Lee's classic, sort of unofficial remakes. Other of these films told Lee's life story and explored his mysteries, such as Bruce Lee's Secret, and this is a classic wiki copy and paste, A farcical rehash starring Bruce clone Bruce Lee in San Francisco defending Chinese immigrants from thugs.
What were they thinking?
Exit the Dragon, Enter the Tiger, where Bruce Lee is apparently asked by Bruce Lee to replace him after his death, and Bruce's Fist of Vengeance. Other films include The Clones of Bruce Lee, where clones of Bruce Lee are portrayed by some of the actors I just listed. They're created by scientists and they do a bunch of kung fu. Let's have a look.
Oh dear.
The respected and loved Chinese superstar Bruce Lee has just died.
Starring Dragon Lee, Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee.
What I like, they call them identical specimens. Not only are they not identical to Bruce Lee, they're not even identical to each other. They don't even look the same as each other. And then, this might be the worst one, I think. There's a film, genuinely, called Bruce Lee Fights Back from the Grave. Bruce Lee Fights Back from the Grave. And in the opening... Here we go. The opening sequence shows Bruce Lee, played by an unknown imitator, leaping from his grave after it's struck by lightning.
Let it go.
While this and the title imply a story involving Bruce Lee returning from the afterlife in order to do battle, the rest of the movie involves a plot that has nothing to do with Bruce Lee.
It's just that one scene.
It's a one scene.
Alright.
Yeah.
Due to the constant action seen in this picture, the producer requests that persons under 17 be accompanied by an adult. Lee fights back from the grave.
God almighty, that's dreadful.
I don't know...
5 years.
I don't know why anyone thought that was acceptable at the time.
And I love how it's called Bruce Lee literally fights back from the literal grave. That's the film.
You literally see him in the trailer punch his way out of his own...
But wearing all the gear.
I don't know...
He was buried in all his Bruce Lee gear. So he had the 1990 movie, and it was very popular.
It's very good.
And Turtles were on top of their game. So what happens when you when it's getting to proper mainstream?
Oh, you make a sequel? Or?
Yeah, but even before that.
Ooh, I don't know.
When something's proper pop culture, and particularly in the early 90s.
Spin-off song? Or?
Yeah, so there was a concert tour. To capitalise on the Turtles' popularity, a concert tour was held in 1990.
Concert tour?
The Coming Out of Their Shells tour featured live-action turtles playing music as a band. In case you wanted to know, Donatello was on keyboards, Leonardo was on bass guitar, Raphael on drums and sax, and Michelangelo on guitar.
So dudes in suits?
Yeah. So it's the Turtles as you remember it from the films, playing as a band.
Did they play the song from the Turtles movie, the TURTLE Power Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I don't think, no, they had a full album of original tracks, so just wait for this. So they had a plot on the tour. So April O'Neil was kidnapped by the Shredder, the Turtles have to rescue her, and the story it was kind of Bill and Ted-esque, and they're using the power of rock and roll to defeat the enemy in the form of the Shredder, who actually raps about how he hates music. And it was a pay-per-view special highlighting the concert at the time, and the studio album was released.
Many people pay for that, pay-to-view that, did they?
Well, here's the track listing. So, Coming Out of Our Shells, Sing About It, Tubing, which I guess is slang at the time.
I don't know what it's slang for.
Skipping Stones, Pizza Power, Walk Straight, No Treaties, Cowabunga, April Ballad, and Count on Us. So I would say this was the absolute lowest of the low for the Turtles. It couldn't get any worse than this.
So that's what we're doing here, dudes! We're bringing our music to all who will listen!
Growing up in a glass bowl with chameleons, lizards, and tadpoles, it hardly enters your mind that there's something better than this. A letter sleep in a carrot, maybe a scene from the parrot. Believe me when I tell you the word gourmet just don't exist. But pizza power, a flying saucer food delight. Pizza power, oh, that's what makes us feel alright.
I think that is certainly the musical nadir of the Turtles, which is saying a lot given that the sequel featured a song by Vanilla Ice.
Well, yeah, but you thought that was bad.
Yeah, I did think it was bad.
Just wait for Splinter's song.
Oh no.
Have you ever skipped rocks on the water? Skipped them when the water is flat and calm, and watched the rings grow around the place where the stone touched the water.
World blue is what I see. It's smooth and flat inside my hand. I just wanna ride it as I set it free.
way I'm standing.
Alright, that's enough of...
I can't believe that's actually a thing that happened. It was obviously a bit where they were like, right, those guys in them turtle
They need
suits,
a rest.
they're going to be hot. They need a rest. Let's just bring out this guy. Oh my god. That was an actual tour.
Yeah.
That was a tour.
And an album. But... Well, so someone just sits down and listens to Splinter talk about skipping stones. But it's that classic thing of like a group of fucking supes in a room who go, right, the kids will buy it, fuck you.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen now. You know, like in the age of the internet and social media and everything, kids who are aged like 8 don't care about shit like this. They care about like, I don't know, Demi Lovato or Ariana Grande. You know what I mean? They want to, or YouTubers or whatever. They don't care about like kiddie things like this. They're watching things and like grinding up on it and shit. Whereas this is just, it just doesn't exist. This thing doesn't exist in today's day.
Kids these days,
Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato.
Justin Bieber. You know what I mean?
It's all just boom, boom, boom.
You know what I mean? There's no like S Club 7 now. Do you know what I mean? There's no like Steps, Teeny Bopper,
and it's a lesser world for it, Tom.
You know what I mean? There's no like.
There's no S. Oh, sorry. Is this episode?
There's no Steps.
Is this episode about the Turtles? There's no S Club 7 now.
This does feel like a lot earlier than 95. Looking at the graphics, I mean, when you said the mask came before this, that's crazy talk.
Wait. All right. We'll get onto issues of budget and why this film looks why it does, and the sequel. And you shut up. So,
is this your lake house?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. Right. To be clear, Tom loves the Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock schmaltz fest, The Lake House. Genuinely one of his favourite movies of all time, and he's having a go at me for liking the Two Geeks appropriate.
What has a better rating on IMDb is all I'm saying.
Does The Lake House have a better rating? Is that you just voting over and over and over again?
So 5.8 for Mortal Kombat.
Ridiculous.
And then Lake House has...
Has it even got an IMDb entry?
It's on there. 6.8, so a whole point more.
Oh.
So...
Well done.
We're getting to nearly 7 territory, which is pretty good for IMDb. Anyway...
Playing Raiden. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which was released 2 years later, and it is, I can say with some confidence, one of the worst movies ever made. It's a crushing disappointment. Now, okay, the first movie was not visually stunning, but this one looks like laughably cheap. It is genuinely sort of stunning that it got a cinema release at all. It's mad. So despite following on from the end of the first movie, like directly, only 2 of the main cast remained, Robin Shue and Talisa Soto as Katana. Everyone else was replaced, all the actors. Johnny Cage, my favourite character in the first movie, not only is he recast, but he's killed pathetically, like in the first scene. According to IMDb, Lyndon Ashby was asked to return, but turned the film down after reading the script. I'm surprised. So Shao Kahn, the Emperor, is sort of, as you saw him there, how would you describe him in that last scene of Mortal Kombat?
Well, massive and epic. And,
huge, exactly.
Yeah.
A huge sort of demon dude.
Yeah.
This is what he looks like in Annihilation. That's what he looks like. Just a dude.
What's that?
He looks like a shit Power Rangers villain.
What is that? And I've seen the clip of...
Right.
I've just realised what it is.
Right.
Oh, no.
Well, first of all, let's watch this absolutely atrocious opening scene from Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
In 6 days, you will all bow to me! It has begun!
Diabolical.
So the CGI is shit. The script is shit. The fights are shit. That's the thing that baffles me most, is that the fights. This is the one thing you need to get right in a film like this, and they're just so poorly choreographed and slow.
But why did they not put any effort in after the first one did alright at the box office? I don't get it.
Right, we'll get onto the statistics of this movie, and it really is baffling. But I want to talk a little bit about the acting. So much for what I said before about taking it seriously. So there are these sort of like clips on YouTube, like memes of the worst acting of all time. So one of them is Troll. Is it Troll 2?
Yeah.
They're eating her.
Oh my god.
And then they're gonna eat me.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
My favourite is
Ryan O'Neill.
I don't know what film it is, but it's just he's reading a note on some sort of cliff face
or a beach, isn't it?
Yeah. And then he's reading it, and it's just one line of she had an affair, and then he goes, "Oh man, oh God, oh man, oh God," as the camera spins around him.
My husband is having an affair with your wife. I don't think we should talk about it. There's your pet. Kill them.
Oh man! Oh God! Oh man! Oh God! Oh man! Oh God! Oh man! Oh God! Oh man! Oh God!
That's a famous one. And another famous one is this from Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Mother. You're alive. Too bad you will die.
Too bad you will die.
I mean, she did as well as she could with the line. I mean, what were you going to do with that?
But it really irritates me when people slag off the original Mortal Kombat movie, because just look at that.
I know.
I mean, like, honest trailers, right? They did Mortal Kombat, but they sort of bunged 1 and 2 together, like, oh yeah, they're bullshit. And it's like, even if you think, like you do, that Mortal Kombat is a bad movie, you cannot put the two side by side and claim that they're of the same quality.
No.
That's objectively wrong. Whatever you think of Mortal Kombat, Annihilation is irrefutably far
this
worse.
This film is so bad it elevates the first one.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like, but it's like I love that first Mortal Kombat movie, but even if you look at it and go, that's crap, whatever, you cannot look at the second one and go, at the very least you have to go, that's more crap.
Yeah.
Executive producer Kevin Francis, who produced The Masks of Death, he had previously wanted to film a new version of The Hound of the Baskervilles.
For God's sake. Why? Just make...
Is it good? It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
We've seen it.
Yeah,
it's like when with Poirot. I can never say it.
Poirot. At the moment.
You can't say it.
Poirot.
Him, Hercule, they love a bit of Murder on the Orient Express every single time. And if it's not that one, definitely not. Because at the end of the latest Kenneth Branagh one, they're like, at the very end, they're like, we've got a new case for you. Where is it? The Nile? Yeah, the Nile. That's the only two films stories rather, they can ever bother to make.
Come, Hastings, we have work to do. All has become clear.
It is like, Mr. Poirot. Mr. Poirot. Yes, what is it? There's been a death.
Where?
On the Nile. And then it's like, bum bum bum. Hercule Poirot will return.
That's what happened.
That's literally what happened. Sidebar. Did I ever tell you about when I interviewed Tom Hardy?
No.
And so...
Didn't know you did.
I interviewed Tom Hardy and his father, Chips.
Oh, yes.
For the TV series Taboo.
Yeah.
And during this interview, Chips was talking about how, in his opinion, Taboo was influenced by great BBC dramas of the past. So he was listing off all these shows, I don't know, whatever, Wuthering Heights, all these shows. Hardy had sat down, Tom Hardy, had said nothing, just sort of like hunched over the table, was staring me dead in the eye, not saying a word, while his father listed off, these inspirations. And so Chips was like, yes, Wuthering Heights, Wolf Hall. Tom Hardy goes, upstairs, downstairs. First thing he said. Didn't even say hello. Just sat down and then upstairs, downstairs.
I like the idea.
Terrifying man.
I like the idea. That has nothing to do with what you're talking about. It was just a phrase that he says every now and then because he's so mental. Just upstairs, downstairs.
Upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs.
Tom, just think of the happy place.
Anyway, sidebar. Well, having put you on the spot with Marina versus Atlanta, this is going to be even worse, if anything. Favourite Tracy brother and favourite Thunderbird craft.
Okay, no, that's not.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
No.
Okay.
And
if anybody disagrees with me on these, they're wrong.
Okay.
So Virgil and Thunderbird 2, obviously, 100%.
Yeah.
No, don't pull faces, because you can argue as much as you like.
I'm going to argue with the son of Jerry Anderson over which is the best.
You will be incorrect. I mean,
I like Scott.
Yeah.
I like Scott Tracy.
Yeah, you're the saw that would. People that like Scott Tracy, I mean, it just says a lot about them. Yeah, they're all about getting there first, taking all the glory. But did they do the work? No, they don't. That's why I'm not so keen on Scott. He turns up, gets mobile control out.
Yeah.
Who knows how? Because that thing is massive, and he's got nobody to help him. It must be made of polystyrene. I don't know. And then what does he do? He just says, "Yeah, Virgil, can you come and do the work, please?"
That's true. Scott always arrives, scopes it out, and then just calls Virgil to actually sort it out. That's very true.
Virgil comes in. He's got all the kit with him. He delivers it all, and quite often puts himself in danger. Scott very rarely does. He doesn't have to wash his uniform much, whereas Virgil quite often, he gets singed, covered in dust, cuts himself.
That's true.
And also when he's at home, he plays the piano.
Yeah.
He paints. And I think he makes probably quite a good martini.
Yeah.
So
it's like the perfect man, Virgil Tracy. I say you've turned me around.
This message will destruct in 5 seconds.
Sorry. I might be a little bit drunk, but I'm so pumped after watching that. I know it's like technically
it's definitely
shit film.
It's definitely the worst
but
one.
I love it so
one.
much. It's so early noughties, fun, Limp Bizkit, and just Grace Scott of all people's the baddie, Anthony Hopkins on fine form, and it's just great. There's a bit where he's fighting Grace Scott for what feels like hours on motorbikes and whatever.
Well, the film, we should mention the film Mission Impossible 2 is a film so ridiculous it culminates in a ludicrous final sequence in which Ethan Hunt and the villain Sean Ambrose, played by Grace Scott, they duel like knights on opposing motorbikes. There's a moment where I think Tom Cruise's gun is like on the sand, or like on the floor, and he can't get it. He can't reach down and pick it up. So he kicks the floor, and the gun like flies up in the air, and he just grabs it.
And Julia Scott's like, "Yeah, should have killed me.
You should have killed me."
On going back to that trailer. To go to bed with a man and lie to him. She's a woman. She's got all the training she needs. Wouldn't get away with that in 2018. And nor should you. That's a shocking line. But it does have a great line, another great Hopkins line, which is, "Do you think it will be difficult? Very. It's not a mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. It's a mission impossible. Difficult to be a walk in the park for you."
She says the line Mission Impossible.
Well, apparently that's the first and I'm not sure, but I think only time that the words Mission Impossible are actually used in the franchise.
But I like that they wanted to do something totally different.
Yeah, well, so this film came out 4 years after the first one. Apparently production was delayed because Tom Cruise was shooting Eyes Wide Shut with Stanley Kubrick for over a year. And it's directed by John Woo, we haven't talked about So you got guns in both hands, slow-mo, doves, the whole shebang. The mission comes to Ethan Hunt, not on a tape recorder, comes on his exploding Oakleys. So cool. But I quite like it. It's dumb as a bag of hammers, but it is fun. And it's perfect that Limp Bizkit do the theme on this one, because Mission Impossible 2 is the Limp Bizkit of movies. It's objectively terrible and cheesy and awful.
You can't help but like it.
But do you know what?
Fuck it. I like Limp Bizkit.
I quite like it. I quite enjoy it. Let's have a blast. This is Limp Bizkit's rendition of Lado Schifrin's Mission Impossible theme. Take a look around.
It's Limp Bizkit fucking up your town.
Fucking up your town?
Yeah.
Don't even know the lyrics.
What does he say? It's Limp Bizkit fucking up your...
Rocking your set? No, wait, that's rolling. Come on. We were again, you're robbed of this. Me and Tom were both just sat here fist pumping.
Sorry.
And so was Fred Durst in the video.
You can take your Drake and your Ed Sheerans. We had it fucking good in the early noughties. We had that, we had Linkin Park, and we were fucking sorted. So we've had basketball, we've had American football,
there's more?
Soccer. Yeah. What's next?
Tennis? Dog tennis, like monkey tennis.
No. In 2002's direct-to-video, Air Bud 7th Inning Fetch. Yep, it's baseball.
He was the king of the court.
golden boy of the gridiron, superstar of the soccer field, and now he's in the big leagues.
Let's play ball!
Buddy is back in an all-new movie, Air Bud 7th Inning Fetch. This time, it's bigger than the game.
The puppies are gone.
That young dog numbers are at it again.
Oh, no.
And all the clues point to Rocky Raccoon and his sidekicks. Buddy's stepping up to the plate and saving the day.
Dog's got a baseball bat in his mouth. I'm in. Sold.
Buddy has the uncanny ability to play baseball this time. And it turns out there were loads of other kidnappers trying to...
Why is everyone trying to kidnap him?
But this time... But it's all right because they've got Rocky Raccoon to help out.
Yeah, what's all this about Rocky Raccoon? There's a raccoon?
Yeah, there's a raccoon and helps him out. Don't worry about it.
Alright, so he's got a raccoon sidekick now.
Yeah.
Alright.
So there's that. He's conquered all that. So I was thinking, what could the next one be? Like...
Golf?
I was thinking maybe ice hockey, golf, tennis.
Why is that ice hockey?
No, 2003's Air Bud Strikes Back. Volleyball?
Alright.
Air Bud is back in an all-new Disney adventure when a precious diamond is stolen. Bud is here to save the day.
Thing is, right?
Oh, dear.
A dog playing basketball, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Dog playing Irish football, yeah. Dog playing soccer, sure, yeah. What was the last one? Dog playing baseball, yeah. It's got a bat in his mouth.
Yeah.
Dog playing volleyball, I reckon most dogs could do that. It's just sort of jumping up and hitting something. I reckon most dogs could do that.
We established in the first film that he could nut a ball, and he's just doing that over and over again.
Yeah, I reckon your common variety golden retriever.
Should have gone for tennis. Holding a racket, that would be incredible.
Little racket in his mouth. I'd be on board for that.
I bet they tried it.
Maybe. They're just like little tryouts. But yeah, tennis racket in its mouth, golf club in its mouth. Wasn't taken to any of that. Let's do volleyball.
Yeah. So Disney's fifth instalment to the franchise. He has the uncanny ability to play volleyball this time.
It's not that uncanny.
And throughout this experience, he and a talking parrot stop some crooks.
All right.
With the diamond that was mentioned in that trailer. So, yeah. All right. So that was the last in the Air Bud cinematic universe. But at least in terms of Air Bud movies...
What?
That's not it. It's time for the spin-offs. Starting with 2006's Air Buddies. This movie changes the primary focus of the series from Buddy to his puppies. It also radically alters the character of the series and making all the animals speak.
The parrot was only the first.
As you probably already know, Cornfield is home to the world-famous Air Bud, a true sports legend whose first love had always been the game. But that all changed the day Molly, a brown-eyed gal with golden locks, moved in across the street. And Buddy fell head over tail for her. It wasn't long before we heard the pitter-patter of little paws. Buddy and Molly were blessed with 5 adorable puppies, known around these parts as the Buddies. Hey, I'm down here. I'm Deputy Sniffer. This here's Sheriff Bob.
What a weird way to end the trailer. What a weird way to end the trailer. There's like they stopped and like, oh god, we're already a minute and a half. Let's just end it. No one's watching it.
Just pack it in.
Oh, dear.
Just pack it in. Now, could the dogs only understand each other?
It's like Homeward Bound rules, I think.
It's Homeward Bound rules in terms of animal speaking. I'm glad we've established that. Because I was wondering if they just somehow had the uncanny ability to speak.
Right,
no, it's Homeward Bound rules. Good to know.
Anyway, I can't be asked to go through the plot of all these films.
How many are there?
But suffice to say, it does get a bit ludicrous. So, Air Buddies was followed by Snow Buddies in 2008, including the voices of Chris Christopherson, Whoopi Goldberg and James Belushi.
Sure.
And then 2009's Space Buddy. They're just in space now. Don't worry about it, they're just suddenly in space.
Dogs in space?
They just followed this rocket and got on and they're in space now.
Dogs in space!
Santa Buddies in the same year, which featured George Wendt as Santa, and also roles for Christopher Lloyd and Tom Bosley.
What?
That must be his final role, because Tom Bosley died ages ago. Spooky Buddies in 2011, that was obviously a Halloween special.
Spooky Buddies.
Treasure Buddies in 2012.
How many of these films are there?
And Super Buddies in 2013, where they get superpowers, obviously. But that's not all. Santa Buddies was clearly the hit of the Buddies films because that has had 2 prequels itself. So The Search for Santa Paws in 2010 and 2012's Santa Paws 2 The Santa Pups. But that's not all.
What?
During all of this, the Air Bud team, whoever the hell they are, I don't think Kevin's involved. Kevin left ages ago. They also made the MVP franchise Most Valuable Primate. Remember I said ice hockey ages ago?
Yeah.
Essentially, this film in 2000 is about an ice hockey playing monkey named Jack. And then that followed MVP2 Most Vertical Primate in 2001 and MXP Most Extreme Primate in 2003.
It's like Extreme Sports?
Yeah.
Monkey doing Extreme Sports?
It's Triple X, isn't it? But that's not all, because I went on the Air Bud website and there's clearly been films which haven't even been deemed good enough to get their own Wikipedia entry. There's Russell Madness. A big-hearted terrier named Russell gets taken in by a family with a pro wrestling arena. They then discover that their pet has incredible wrestling skills. Monkey Up. You have Monty, and a talking monkey who wants to become a movie star. And then Pup Star. Welcome to a world where dogs can't only talk, they can sing. And then Pup Star 2, Better Together, and Pup Star World Tour. So I think all these aren't really in the Air Bud cinematic universe, but they're made by the same team.
But total?
We're talking...
How many movies are in the Air Bud cinematic oeuvre?
Okay, hang on. Counting all up, I believe there's 22 films.
22 movies?
Yeah.
That is more than the MCU?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's more than the MCU.
But still being made to this day. So, yeah. Air Bud, the legacy of Air Bud, who died a long time ago, lives on.
Oh, woof woof. Getting into the nitty gritty now of how quantum leaping works.
Yeah.
So, when Sam leaps, his body is physically present in the past. Although he has transported, his body is in the past with him.
But I thought he's overtaken the body of someone else.
Sort of, but it's not just that his brain is transported into their body.
Okay.
Like his body does go back into the past.
But what? So they're double the weight now because it's two people technically.
No. So Sam goes back into the past. Just Sam.
Okay.
Sam, but for some reason he appears to others around him as the person into whom he's replaced.
Okay.
In time.
Okay.
So say I leaped back and replaced someone.
Yeah.
It is me, but I look to everyone except for Al like the person I've swapped with.
What happened to the other person?
Well, apparently the people into whom Sam leaped are brought into the future where he was.
What?
Yeah. Where they appear as Sam to the others.
That doesn't make any sense.
So they are in the future of 1999.
Oh, right.
But they look like Sam to everyone else.
But the guys in 1999 know what's going on, so they can just...
The whole team of Project Quantum Leap does.
And every time that happens, they must have to go, it's fine, don't worry about it.
They are kept in an isolated waiting room to prevent them from learning anything about the future, and they return to their own time when Sam leaps.
Okay, so sorry.
Yeah.
No matter how good a job he does, when they get transported back, they're going to be fucked up.
No, but they're just in a room.
Yeah, but they're still like, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah, but they're going to go, oh, I just woke up. What was that? Was I in the future in a weird room? I probably just dreamt it.
Whatever Sam does to change the past or whatever, they have no memory of it.
Not immediately clear.
Because that's what confuses me. Because if he fixes things or he does amazing stuff, they go, great, let's send them back.
Yeah.
And then they get back into that body and go, oh, hi, darling, how's it going? I don't know, I haven't been here. And he might, if they were trying to fix the fact that he was being a prick, they're still a prick because he has no idea that it's happened. So he fixes nothing.
Look. He's only got one job to do, alright? He turns up, he fixes it. If he then, say, fixes a marriage by being a nice guy, if he then leaves...
What if he was an abuser and he comes back and he's like, I'm still abusing?
That's not his problem, is it? He's done the
What's
quantum leap.
What's the point in the first place?
He's done the quantum leap, that's the point. Jesus.
Right.
So
is he changing history? That's what I don't know.
We'll get onto that.
Alright.
So, I'm still on the bit about the body. You let me finish.
This is like Crime Traveller, where it spent 4 hours explaining the rules of Crime Traveller before. Did they do an episode where it explained it all?
I feel like if I satisfactorily explain the concept of quantum leap to you, I'll then disappear.
But do they do this?
Ziggy says there's a 98% chance you'll fail to explain the concept of quantum leap to Tom.
In Quantum Leap, did they explain all this in the episode, or is this like fans working it out themselves later?
No, they explain it in the episode.
Fuck me, it must have taken a while.
So, do you want to hear about his body or not?
Yes.
Do you want to hear about Scott Bakula's body?
Good body.
Richard Attenborough was the Chancellor at Sussex University, where I attended. And so when you graduate,
you get to you get to meet the Chancellor, and they give you your degree.
Yeah.
And when I graduated, I knew it was special because this was about 6 years, I think, before he sadly passed away.
Yeah.
But it was his final year as Chancellor. We knew he was retiring, so it was a big deal. It was like his final year as Chancellor, and your Chancellor's Richard fucking amazing. Do you know who the Chancellor is now?
No.
Sanjeev Bhaskar. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love Sanjeev. Sanjeev's great.
I've
got a lot of time for Sanjeev.
He's
not Rich Attenborough, though, is he? He's not Rich Attenborough. Like, I had a lot of friends who were in the year below, and they were like,
went from Attenborough to
from Attenborough to Bhaskar. It is a downgrade. I'm sure Bhaskar himself would admit this.
Yeah.
But as university graduations go, mine was pretty top tier because not only was Attenborough the Chancellor, Ben Kingsley was also there.
Sir Ben Kingsley,
as he would insist. He was picking up an honorary degree. So, I mean, how many graduations have both the director and the star of Gandhi? Not many, I'd venture.
I had Colin Firth, pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And Alan Titchmarsh.
I mean, I've heard worse. I've heard worse. So it was great, I had to everyone was going up one by one and picking up their degrees. And you walk up to the stage and, they call your name and then you go up and you shake Richard Attenborough's hand and you great. And I'd seen other people doing this and I was like, oh my God, it's going to be great. I'm going to meet Richard Attenborough. They've got, Jurassic Park, Miracle on 34th Street, legend, Richard Attenborough, one of the greatest actors and directors of all time. Oh my God. And so I'm really excited. And so they call my name and I go up on stage and I can see he's got my degree in his hand, a rolled up bit of paper. And I walk onto the stage and I go up and everyone applauds and I shake his hand and he goes, "Congratulations, Norman."
Norman?
Why? Well, because they said Morgan Jeffrey, and he shook my hand and he said, "My one time I ever met Richard Attenborough, the late great Richard Attenborough. Congratulations, Norman." Congratulations, Norman.
Jeffrey.
Call me Norman.
No one's called Norman.
I don't
think anyone's been christened Norman for centuries.
He is quite old. He was quite old.
Wisdom.
So that was my one and only experience with Richard Attenborough. But it didn't throw me. Ben Kingsley.
Because imagine if you went, "It's Morgan."
Dickie. It's actually Morgan. No, it didn't throw me. I immediately dashed over to Ben Kingsley, and I was the first person to do this. People started copying me afterwards. Rushed over to Ben Kingsley, shook his hand, said, "Honoured to meet you, sir. Loved you in Thunderbirds," and moved on. That last bit's not true, but the rest of the story.
Sexy beast.
The last of the story is 100% true.
We hope you enjoyed that highlights reel. That was some great moments there.
That was bloody hilarious.
Oh, do you know what? We actually haven't finished editing the best of yet, so we have no idea what you just listened to.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure it was an absolute laugh a second.
Do you know what? Going by the sort of material we churn out on a semi-regular basis.
Monthly now.
Monthly.
If we're lucky.
6 weekly. We reckon that must have just been pure gold, just weaving pure gold. But we will be putting out an official episode 50, as we said. That will be coming sometime in February.
Yeah, we're recording it next week.
Yeah.
So look out for that.
And
very special.
It is something a little bit special. It's a bit of a break from our usual format, although it will mostly still involve us drinking and arguing and
bickering and
chatting our shit.
Yeah.
But thanks for listening. As ever, you can listen to, I don't know if you call it this, there's 50 episodes now. 50 previous episodes, plus a few little bonuses as well, little tidbits, which are all available to stream on our website or download, which is twogeeks2beers.com. You can also, of course, subscribe, and you should, on iTunes, where you can give us a nice little rating and a review as well. Why not?
Yes, please. And all the social channels, as ever, at Two Geeks Cast, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow us for all the latest updates if you can be bothered.
And you can also email us, which is podcast@twogeeks2beers.com. Send us suggestions for future episodes, TV shows, movies, games you'd like to see us cover, any feedback even. We always appreciate that.
Stop doing episodes.
Unless it's to say, that was really lazy that you did a best of, because did you not listen? We told you, it's bloody hard work. So,
really hard.
Again, back off. Back off. But keep listening.
But we love you.
We love you. So thanks a lot.
Right.
And we'll see you in episode 50.
See you there.
Cheers.
Bye.
see you later, and cheers. Thanks very much.
Cheers. That was the most sort of underwhelming ending of all time. See you later, and cheers. I guess. Bye.